Welcome to Natural 6! I'm just sort of trying to have a fun new thing each time. And
No, you didn't prefer to keep rolling dem dice?
No, I didn't do keep rolling dem dice. That was a one-time only.
No,
I like to mix it up.
Keep people guessing.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is episode 8 of our adventures in the world of... Reliquiate what?
I just can't believe it's 8 already.
Oh, right. I thought you said no, it's not. I was like, oh, no. Yeah.
Sowing the seeds of doubt early.
So we are going to be having some more dice rolling and role-playing and great funning of times. Thank you for joining us. Before we start,
Nailed it. Do you know what? Nailed it.
Really good.
Yeah.
But it's
I think we need to do it again.
Because I wrote it down, and on the page it didn't live with all the vitality it did. Let's say hi to our heroes.
Hello, I'm Aoife Wilson, and I am playing Dolly de Winter, the Tiefling Bard.
Hello, I'm Alex Jordan. I'm playing the Kobold Rogue.
Hi, I'm Doug Cockle. I'm playing Kelnis, the Dragonborn Druid.
Hi, I'm Hollie, and I'm playing the human fighter in Dolly and Rinnan.
Hi, I'm Hollie Bennett, and I'm also playing in Dolly and Rinnan.
No, you're not, Ben. No.
Hello, I'm Ben Starr, and I'm playing the Wood Elf Wizard, Raiden Thornbear.
Yeah. And I'm Harry McEntire. I'm the Dungeon Master. I do all the other voices. Hi.
Hi.
Yay.
Hello.
So, I mean, I guess we can pontificate all we like, but truly there's nothing to do but play some Dungeons and Dragons. Last time. You began in the Whispering Walker, Casper informing you that the Spider Prince had arrived in Barun and was demanding an audience with you. Clearly shaken, he led you through the streets of the Deal as night began to fall, ascending a stairway to the Crest and arriving at a large building on a quiet plaza. He escorted you into a room in which 2 figures were waiting. The Spinner, Lieutenant of the Web, who you first met on the night you fought the Basilisk, and the Spider Prince himself. Clad in black robes with silver thread, his face obscured by a mask made of innumerable black gems. He questioned you on the events at the top of Mount Atria, toying with a silk bag on the table as you spoke. Apparently satisfied with your answers, the prince moved his attention towards Raiden Thornbear, demanding to know of his family. When Raiden told him what he remembered, the prince turned towards the Spinner, telling him, "I think you're right, but I don't understand how." I, the character, not the me, I put that in the notes as well today, told the prince of the orbs, the words the shadow will flood, and the blight that you found at the peak of the mountain. Kel spoke of the child mentioned by the voices in the orbs. And with all your reports made, the Spinner took the floor and told you of a new mission. You were to burn down the 5 buildings that share a plaza with Gronoth's residence. The Web has been financing the expansion of the city of Barun, and debts are owed. At this point, Raiden stepped forward, telling the Spider Prince of Barabask's betrayal and stating his desire to kill the elven Antiqua should the opportunity ever present itself. He wished to speak privately with the prince and the Spinner, but was summarily dismissed in this request. Dolly turned to leave before the Spinner called her back. She alone was to remain. The others shuffled out and could hear nothing before Dolly emerged, discussions having taken place. You headed towards the plaza in order to stake out the 5 buildings, passing a few drunk workers who you overheard speaking of a colleague, Vim, who was as yet unaccounted for. You split up and began to investigate, Raiden casting Disguise Self in order to take on the appearance of one of the drunk workers and happening to stumble upon Vim, a tiefling trying to sleep off a hangover in a pile of insulating fleece. A moving one-act play followed, and Vim eventually stumbled off with a belly full of booze and a heart full of hope, leaving Raiden with a set of keys he had pilfered from the tiefling's pockets. As Calnis overheard some of the commotion, he tripped over a pile of building materials, setting off a series of unfortunate stealth checks suffered by the party, which gradually increased the attention of Gronoth's guards. I, character not me, managed to throw them off the scent with a feline use of silent image and a little persuasion, but Brynhilde and the guards were beginning to pay attention to the growing commotion in the plaza. After a few failed attempts to... I tried to dress this up. I can't. Climb some trellis. Dolly started a fire, level 4 hero. Dolly started a fire at the base of one of the buildings, and Kelnis summoned his wildfire spirit in the form of a pine marten called Hank to begin a blaze in another. Rady and Misty stepped into an unoccupied building. I fell foul of a magical door knocker, and Indelian enjoyed a less than ideal time in the darkness as she attempted to get to the farthest building and prepare it for ignition. Her fire started, Dolly feigned insouciance as she headed towards Gronoth's estate. Brynhilde and the guards, emerging as one of the buildings, succumbed to the flames and collapsed. Dolly cast suggestion on Brynhilde and told the captain of Gronoth's guard to head to the building at the farthest end of the plaza, where Indelian had succeeded in starting a fire. Meanwhile, Dolly began to plant seeds of fear into the mind of a guard, causing him to develop an aversion to a slightly larger than average black cat, which I had caused to appear earlier in the encounter. By now, Raiden had set another building ablaze, and he dashed out to see Brynhilde, telling her that Vim had gone crazy and had been declaring his desire to burn the buildings to the ground. By this point, it was only the building nearest Gronoth's estate that was free from flames. Kelnis soon saw to this, and the whole plaza was engulfed in fire and smoke. As Brynhilde arrived at the final building, she spotted Indelian in the shadows, and flummoxed and flustered, the fighter could not give a convincing reason why she was there. Soon, I interceded and managed to convince her to head back towards Gronoth's estate with Indelian in tow. As they approached, Indelian and I saw a figure next to the gates that led to Gronoth's residence, and I realized that it was Gronoth himself, emerging to inspect the blazing plaza where multiple buildings had now fallen to their foundations. And as I looked on, a figure emerged from the shadows and plunged a knife into the antiqua before disappearing in a whirl of smoke. And that is where we are now. So as far as the rest of you are concerned, nothing has yet changed. In Delian, you have seen this figure slump to the ground against the gatepost, and you've seen an assailant disappear in a curl of smoke. You know who it was. You know this was Gronoth. The flames are flicking higher, licking up the sides of the walls. All 5 buildings now, those 3 that are still standing, I should say, are on the point of collapse.
Am I restrained in any way?
Brynhilde has a hand. She definitely has one hand on Indelian. I think she has a hand on you, but you can absolutely extricate yourself from that if you want to. So roll me an acrobatics check to escape.
I seize and just quietly, but instinctively, just goes, no, and tries to shirk himself free. And sorry, he was saying that
acrobatics.
Was acrobatics. That is that's a 19.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So wrestles free, straight down onto all 4, sprints forward in the direction, and basically, is this smoke still from the person? Is there any sort of?
So I'm going to say by the time you get there, roll me a perception check with advantage, Kelnis.
Got this. 14.
14. You hear among, like, at this point, these buildings are like cracking. You can hear beams giving way, the flames licking up the sides of the walls. It's like an inferno. Essentially, the whole plaza is almost engulfed in fire, and it's burning fierce and hot and incredibly bright in the dark. But you hear over that this scuttling noise, and you're still in the form of a cat. But you see I sprinting all fours. I don't think we've ever had I running like this in this animalistic way. You see him running towards the gatehouse. Let's have Dolly and Raiden also roll investigation. I don't think either of you were inside buildings at this point.
I'm building 5.
You're building 5. Okay, so in that case, your DC will be higher, and you were walking back.
I was walking towards the house anyway.
Yeah.
What am I rolling?
Nat 20.
Perception, nat 20.
Yeah. I'm not getting anywhere near it.
You what did you get, Raiden?
I've got an 8.
Okay, so you are.
I'm going, look at this building. Wow.
Oh my god!
I've done such a good job burning these buildings down.
Dolly, you see what Kelnis sees, and I would say with a nat 20, as I runs past you, you see where he's running, and you see the figure, and you see Grono's body, and as you arrive, that smoke is. It's hard to tell really whether it's the smoke from the fire or the smoke from this disappearance, but there is still something barely in the air.
As he arrives, it's just sort of like he immediately arrives, and again, instinct before approaching Gronoth. As soon as he arrives, just sort of a kind of a quick sniff to see if I get any particular sense or anything like that, any kind of smells.
Roll me perception.
15.
This could. Actually, that's in. Are you looking for clues, or are you just trying to get a sense of it?
It's pure instinct. It's like when
Perception, then.
Yeah. Then 15.
15. You smell. On this smoke, it's metallic, mineral smell that smells to you like blood.
Okay. Immediately turns to Gronoth, and goes down onto his knees and sort of scoops up the back of Gronoth's head and turns back to Brunhilde and just shouts and goes, You! Helps us!
Great. She still has suggestion working on her. I think in this moment I'll have her roll not to break free of the spell, but she rolled a nat 20 on a wisdom save, so I think that's going to, just for a moment, allow her to respond to this need. She starts to run towards you, and as she gets maybe 10 feet from you, you see that realization dawn. And she drops down beside the body. She's almost kind of pushing you out of the way. She grabs Gronoth, and you felt by now that he's limp. His eyes are open, and he's somewhere else.
Now, Alex knows mechanically there's anything but reaches into his pack to grab potion of great healing, and is sort of trying to fumble around to find this potion desperately to sort of pop it and try and sort of.
And you see Brynhilda is shaking him and putting her hands on his face, and she's whispering to him and then crying out in Dwarven, which you don't understand, but it's like a keening sound. It's like a sound that you know instinctively is mourning and is fear. And roll me a medicine check.
That is a 3.
A 3. You think there might still be life in him.
Okay, cool. So I pops the potion of great healing and sort of kind of tries to move between Brunhilde to kind of pour into this lifeless mouth.
And you start to try and pour it in, and it's all just flooding down the sides of his face and through his beard.
So I looks at Brunhilde, sees that she's kind of just almost in this moment useless and kind of inaccessible, right? She's just in her own sort of daze. Yeah. Okay. I turns back to the gate and shouts, not fully for the sake of microphone, but turns and shouts, goes, "Come quick, we need you, come. And then immediately I want to try and scale in some capacity, like any kind of thing where I could get a height advantage, and I'm using my dark vision to just
Trellis, maybe.
I don't. Basically, I don't know how this person, whatever this is, they may have a short teleportation. It could be short distance. If there's any kind of
Dolly knows a trellis.
if there's any kind of height I can gain to just do a scout around as I try and draw their attention.
So you were, and you won't be able to see this, viewers, but this was the plaza, and he's against this gatepost. So where you can try and climb the wall of Gronoth's estate, which is a lower wall, or you could try and climb one of these sort of walls that go around the plaza.
What I would like to do is try and climb Gronoth's wall to then easily access the taller wall at the back, because if there's space behind, if I can see anything, I don't know, just anything.
Great. Okay, roll me an athletics check.
That is a nice 22.
Okay, so you just scale up this wall, your claws find purchase in the brick, and within moments you're up on this wall, and you're acting, you talked about running on all fours. There's this kind of, The thing it's closest to is when one of your tribe was in need, which you haven't felt in a long time. And there's this instinctive thing that takes over, and you run along onto the wall of the plaza, which is actually, if you like, the internal wall that would look down, and you could see down into the deal. Roll me an investigation check with, I'll say disadvantage, because this person has used something that is not typical to disappear.
It's a 10.
It's 10. When you look down into the deal, you're greeted with faces looking up. The city, it's like the city has stopped because the sky's on fire. And you can't make out who's who, what movement is what, but you do see that guards are pushing through the crowd, and you can assume trying to make their way to the staircases that would allow access up to this plaza.
Okay, what did I make out from this shadowy figure? Is it literally just pure shadow and then guard?
You rolled a nat 20 on a perception check. They are, Gronoth is about 5 feet tall. The figure was smaller than Gronoth.
Okay.
That's what you've made out.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm going to say the three of you, Kelnis, Indelian, and Dolly, have all seen what is happening. And I'll just kind of come to you to see what you've...
Are you guys anywhere near the estate at all right now?
So Indelian, you were at building, I believe you were at building, the sort of in between, just about building 2, sort of building 3, building 2, when you saw this figure get stabbed. Kelnis, you were in between building 1 and 2, so you were actually the closest, and you were heading back from building 3.
Yeah, I was heading towards.
So you were all kind of
coming in.
far edge of building 2 into the near edge of building 2, far edge of building 1.
We need to get out of here quickly.
Yeah, I think that kind of instinct would be to run towards, but we're already in trouble. We've already been seen.
I haven't. I can't say that, though. I'm a cat.
That's why you can't say it. I knew it was a reason.
Yeah,
Still cat.
Still
I was actually just going to ask, is there enough chaos that I could resume my normal shape without anybody...
Yes, I would say that. I would say. I would say, even if it took you a few steps to duck into a doorway of building 1 or move around, there's absolutely ample opportunity to do that. No one is staring at a cat. So if you wanted to, you can do that.
No one gives a fuck about your cat.
Except for that one guard.
That's terrifying.
Also, now I like
Well, there's 2 guards actually. There's a guard in the jail who absolutely bloody loves you.
I said everyone cares about that cat.
I think I need to, because these guys don't know that I'm a cat. I can't communicate with them, so...
Okay.
So I think I'll just see if I can find a little bit out of the way spots so the guards don't see me.
Absolutely. Well, of those 2 guards, one is with Dolly, who I'm going to say, along with you, his attention is now focused entirely on Gronoth, and the other one is actually on the was sent to the walkway that leads back towards the crest. So they're sort of looking. I mean, by now they'd be looking, but they're certainly not going to be looking at you.
Okay. Yeah. So I change back into Kelnis.
I go up to Indelian and be like, Gronoth it's not looking good for him. I don't think we want to be hanging around here for much longer.
I'm really torn. I think part of me would. It's almost like running headfirst into danger, but also we're not all together anyway. I think if you're going to be like, we need to get out of here, we need everybody. So I guess I'll probably start looking around, seeing where everybody is, especially, this one, but I especially.
Okay, roll me perception. At this point, it's no longer dark because there's so
It
much
doesn't make a
fire.
difference. I rolled a 4.
You rolled a 4. Okay, you see Del. You see Del. Delnis and Collie are definitely there. Kelnis and Dolly, you know where they are. You don't know where I and Raiden are.
But I saw I saw Kelnis. I saw
Yes.
running.
Yes, but he's now darted up a wall and is climbing across. If you want to see if you can find him, are we assuming that at this point that the three of you are talking together?
Yeah, well, we are, I guess, if you
I
came
think
back after.
I just
Great.
stepped out of the shadows
you
and
can-
kind of joined them.
You can roll a perception to see if you can spot where if you're looking specifically for
Well, because I
I.
saw where he went, so was that 13?
Did you just place that?
No,
Oh, I
So we were turning it through the dog.
Wow.
Yeah, the
13.
dog
Yeah, I'm going to say your eye was fixed on eye. It's a nightmare what you've done,
Yeah.
Alex Jordan.
Okay.
So your eye was fixed on eye, and so you have seen when I climbed the highest price. I'm just trying to do more eye
Yeah.
vowels. You saw when I climbed the wall, and you've seen him peering over into the deal.
Okay, so
land
I
below.
point him out to Dolly and Delian.
I would say the rest of
Where's
you
Raiden?
still don't know.
Where's
where
Raiden?
is.
I get out of here.
I am seeing guards coming up
Yes.
into.
Yes.
Okay. I climbs down from the wall, and I moves towards these guards and says,
You want to drop down. So, let me be really clear. You are in the crest, and you are looking down into the deal. That is about 50 feet.
so back down into the.
So if you come back down into the crest,
Yeah.
the level where you
Yeah.
all are, there are no guards there yet,
Yeah.
other than the two that were with Brynhilde.
Okay. How far away are the guards that are making their way through?
They're down. They're on the floor below.
So that's not like seconds away. That's probably a few minutes away, sort of thing.
Yeah,
or-
I would
okay.
say it's probably a couple of minutes.
Okay.
But there might be other guards who you haven't yet seen.
Okay, so I then drops down into the crest.
Yeah.
And runs back across to these guys, and arrives back again. It's the sprinting on all fours,
Yeah.
purely animalistic, and gets there and says, "They is dead, and I saw some things. I don't knows. I has thoughts."
Okay, well, save those thoughts. I think we need to prioritize ourselves right now. I don't think we want to be. We've just set fire to a lot of buildings.
They
and
knows we
someone's
is here.
Yeah, some of them do. Does that mean we want to be around when they want to start asking questions?
We leaves. We only makes more trouble for us.
Where would we go?
They gotta find us first.
There's only one way out.
There would be. Roll me an investigation check, Kelnis.
I don my Sherlock Holmes cap and my pipe, and I roll a 21.
Okay. Right. I would say that there is only one pathway off the plaza, but you would know. There are walls that can be scaled. There would be other ways down. They would be far more dangerous and complex, but it is possible to get away without using the walkway. It's possible.
There is guards coming this way. There is guards here. And I points towards the entrance.
Dolly, roll me perception.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
She knows
You
it.
can suggestion.
She goes, "There
Suggestion
is,
is suggestion is still working, and you can hear Brynhilde starting to. You can hear her like arguing with herself in common, and she'll be shouting these things, and she's still holding on to Gronoth's body, speaking Dwarvish, But then she'll say, "We have to split up. We have to stop there are the buildings. We have to stop the building." And she's like shouting out for the guards. Your spell that's essentially acting on her is that we should all split up and search different buildings. And at the moment, you can see that there is a battle going on in her. There's the sort of conscious part of her brain which is trying to break through, which wants to stay with Gronoth.
Okay.
And then there's a spell that you've got acting on her which is telling her to keep searching the area.
Can I walk up to her and be like, Brynhilde, look at me. Tell the guards to go search the other buildings. When they get here, there's more coming. There's reinforcements coming. Don't worry about it. They're here to help you. And just sort of back off.
Yeah, I'm going to say that essentially that will override. It's not exactly mechanically how it works, but that will absolutely override. And she sort of looks at you and nods, and then she picks up Gronoth's body, and you see how light it is for her, and she sort of holds him almost like across her, like you would with a child, with his head like lolling against her shoulder, and she's holding him like that and sort of staring towards the walkway, waiting for these guards to arrive.
I suggest we make ourselves scarce. Let's hide around a corner, wait for the guards to pass, and then leave the same way they're going to come in.
They need us.
No, they don't. What do they need us for? He's already dead. I'm sorry, but he's already dead. We need to leave. That we're not going to do any good in a jail cell, which guarantee you that's where we're going to end up if we stay here.
I think she's right.
Let's be smart about this. I'm sorry, I really am, but there's nothing more we can do for him.
None of this looks good for us.
If we just burn down all these buildings.
Exactly. Someone needs to find Raiden. We need to move.
Eyes instinct takes over of, okay, someone needs help right now, and if I'm not helping them, I'm helping them.
Yeah.
And I doesn't say anything and just immediately sets off in the direction of the houses again to try and...
Raiden, what have you been doing?
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
He's been having a quick one behind house fire.
I'm not writing that in my diary.
You know,
I'm
he
just
might have
not.
been.
No, I'm not
he might have
writing
been.
that.
I'm going to say out of the five of them, he's the most likely to have been having a quick one behind
And
house
you know
fire.
what, Doug? Radiant is cranking one out.
All this excitement just gets his blood boiling.
Let me roll athletics check to see.
Can I roll perception?
So in all of this, not a clue. Finally, Radiant is kind of he gets to use the keys.
Yeah.
He's got the keys, so he's going to go up to the house and he's going to try the keys in the front door of the house, because the house is a little bit on fire, but it's not on fire enough.
Of building 5?
Building 5.
Absolutely. So you you open the door into building 5, and of some pigeons, some birds take flight. And you see that there is the skeleton, if you like, of the building internally is completed. The supporting timbers and the joists, but the floorboards haven't yet been laid or anything like that. And right up in the top, you can see that the tiles haven't been fully laid in the roof. And a load of these birds fly up through the hole in the roof. In fact, Delian saw some of them earlier. And then roll me an investigation check.
13.
13. You see that one of the pigeons has not moved. And the more you look, the more you realize it is a headless pigeon, and it is being feasted on by two tiny sort of monsters that look like a cross between a large bat and an oversized mosquito.
Sturges.
Roll for initiative.
Yeah, roll initiative. Yeah, they are Sturges. Well done, you. Roll initiative, please, Radiant.
That is a 13.
Okay, they rolled a 15. So these two little Sturges, these two sort of things, they fly up into the air, hover, and then they are just going to both dart at you as quickly as they can. And they're sort of swerving towards you, dipping their wings. The first one rolls a 16 to hit you.
I immediately cast shield.
Okay. And the next one rolls a 24 to hit you, which I think shield gives you a +5 until damage at the start of your.
Yes, it does.
So you're.
So I would get hit with the second one.
You get hit by the second one. You take 6 piercing damage, and this thing is attached to your body. It's like, and it's gone into your chest, and it is. You can hear like over the flames, an audible as it's trying to suck blood out of your chest. That is your turn.
What's really weird about this is he kind of likes it.
You were going to say that.
That's another scar.
He kind of likes it, and after a second of going, don't I like it?
Are you going to make everything a thing?
What would the possibility? So this thing's just stuck in me, right?
The thing is stuck in you, so you can use an action to deattach it, and that will essentially work. This is a tiny thing. It's like trying to pull a mosquito off your body, or trying to pull a bee off.
That's a single action.
That would be your action. You would still have a bonus action available, and there would still be 2 of them around.
Yeah. I feel like they're just going to keep wanting to suck my blood, right? They're like, who wouldn't want to suck this? These really,
This whole episode's going downhill so quickly.
well, let's just see how we feel about this. This is fun. Raiden alone.
He's just a little juice box.
He's just a little
little Capri son of a boy.
He's just a little boy. He's a little boy being sucked on. Yeah, great. I want to know how I'd feel if. So I want to do some magic missile.
Okay.
I want to be popping some of these things off. This thing's on me. How accurate is this magic missile to be able to?
It always hits, and it hits a single creature. So I would say it wouldn't hit you.
Great. So I cast magic missile.
Okay.
At level 2.
Level 2.
Really annihilate them.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's a bit annoyed.
So it
about
creates.
I
You create
ask
4
permission.
darts.
Sorry.
Because is it you create one? Do you
so
create 3
I
darts? of
create
magic?
4 darts. Yeah.
Yeah. So at higher levels, every time you. So it's 3 darts at level 1, right?
Yeah.
And every time you add a level, you add an extra dart.
Yeah.
So you create 4 darts. They always hit.
They always hit.
And tell me how you're directing these darts.
I want to hit both of them. And so the one that flew at me is on the floor behind me.
Yeah,
right?
it bounced off.
It bounced off. So almost after he kind of like Raiden kind of like clicks his neck a little bit. He immediately kind of flicks these darts come out with his hands. And without even looking, he fires 2 darts at the one behind him.
Yeah.
And then 1 at the one that's kind of sucking his blood, which could the missile kind of like fire it off his body?
Roll damage first. Is it 1d4 plus 1?
1d4 plus 1, yeah. That's a d4?
Yes, that's a d4. The pyramid's a d4.
Weird little triangles.
That's 4 plus 1.
Okay. They are both instantly explode in a load of pre-digested blood.
He's thrilled about that. But kind of doesn't really care because that's just happened now and he still has to burn these buildings down. So he's looking around for anything that will be flammable.
So I will say that you've seen that these are untreated exposed timbers.
Yeah.
So this building is flammable if you can get something going from the inside. So far all that you've burnt is Endelian has burnt wooden boards that are boarding up the external windows on the ground floor.
So he's going to cast Chromatic Orb. And it's going to create a 4-inch diameter sphere of fire, and he's just going to. Is there enough time for me to look around to see if there's anything flammable?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say during this time, eyes got to Grono, got up on the wall. Kelnis has dropped the wild shape. Dolly's given Dolly has given Brynhilda new instructions, and Deli and Kelnis and Dolly have had a conversation. Then Dolly and Delian and I have had a conversation.
Okay.
So I would say you would have time to. You've fought these Sturges. You would have time to check for flammable stuff and then do something to set it alight. At which point,
just as he's about to do that, his head really starts hurting. Like whispers are back, the cards are kicking off, and he just kind of wants to and like more than before, more than this kind of happened in the past couple of days. Like it's really, really powerful. Like the cards are like strong. And so he puts his hand almost like as a reflex because they're loud. So he's like on his knees. He's kind of like going, no. And almost like a reflex, he pulls them out of the pack, he throws them into the building, and casts Chromatic Orb on the cards.
Kindling.
That face.
Okay.
We broke the deal!
Roll me an attack on the cards.
That is a 24.
Okay. And roll me damage on that chromatic orb. 3d8 if it's at level 1, unless you're casting it at level 2.
Sorry, everyone.
And you kind of left the building almost. You like in the doorway trying to get out.
I want like it's bad. It's
Okay.
bad. Like these are not good for me.
Okay. So d8 are ones that look like
no, I'm trying to-
diamonds.
Show me your pretty diamonds. Here they are. 6, 3,
9,
1.
10. That's it. 3d8. And were you rolling it at fourth level? At second level?
No, I was just-
So 3d8. So 6.
Just having a just
So
nice
10 damage.
Yeah.
What energy are you choosing?
fire.
Fire. You fire this kind of. I don't know how you think of them. I think of them as almost like rockets
Yeah.
that then explode like a firework would. Fire, and you see it hits the deck and it goes, poof, and it reflects directly back at you, and you take 10 fire damage.
Nice.
Oh.
And it hurts.
Really hurts.
It really hurts, and he kind of screams, and it pushes him back out of the building, and it's almost like his robes like catch fire a little bit, and he's on the floor and writhing around
any
and
of us
screaming.
can do that.
I'm going to say
but
that by this point, you were running up towards the other buildings. You last saw him outside 3, so I would suggest you'd probably intuit that he wouldn't have headed back towards 2 and 1. You would have seen him. So you were looking at 4 and 5, and you see a figure, which you recognise as Raiden, stumbling backwards out the building, almost on fire at the end of the thing, slapping flames out on his own robes.
Okay. I takes off his cloak, runs forward, and basically leaps onto Raiden.
A little soft drop and roll.
Yeah.
To fully just. It's not a big cloak, but he is just
Trying to envelop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're aware, Raiden, of someone kind of wrapping cloth around you, and the flames are doused, and the
Yeah.
pain subsides, and you look down in its eye.
Yeah.
And I just looks at you and says, "We need to go now. Now. Gronoth is cold.
What?
Gronoth is cold and grey.
No. What are you talking about?
Gronoth is.
The buildings.
Not-
What about the buildings?
Gronoth is not with us.
What are you talking about?
We need to go.
Okay, fine.
We need to go.
Where is
now.
everyone?
This way." And I climbs down off Raiden.
This whole time he's been around him, actually just in the ear. Gronoth is grey.
He climbs down, he puts his cloak back on, and he says, "Now," and starts running back towards.
Hey.
You running after? Or are you trying to make him stop?
calling
I
after
just
to
stops
stop.
and turns.
I don't think I can walk. I need you to help me.
I runs back. Tiny arm, sort of, basically, eyes just provide, essentially functioning as a walking stick at this point.
Yeah.
On head.
So kind of stumbling afterwards.
Okay, so you start slowly making your way back towards the other 3, and I will say by the time you get to building 3, which is probably sort of half a minute, you guys see them coming. Roll me one of the 3 who was still there, so either Kelnis and Delian or Dolly. Roll me a luck check.
I mean, I've been
wants to
rolling
do it?
like. I mean,
You
I'm
rolled
like,
2 nat 20s, haven't you?
I'll do it. For fuck's sake. It's a 9.
It's a 9. Okay, so as you see them, they're not yet with you at building 2. You start to hear, you hear a voice on the walkway. It's the voice of one of Gronoth's guards calling in the opposite direction, saying, "Quickly, this way!"
How far away are Raiden and I from
They
us?
are 60 feet away from you.
Can I use message?
Yeah, I think message has a range that's higher than
Yeah,
that.
it is. It's 120.
Yeah.
I'm just going to message to say, like, hide yourselves right now.
Which of them do you message?
I, because he has the more context.
Yep. Yep.
And
You can
I
reply
messages
you
back.
can reply in a whisper.
I messages back and says, He is not moving fast. We is not leaving fast. And then I turns and just says to Radian, trusts me, follows me.
And then
Radiant blows him up with
Radiant casts chromatic. No, he plus it. Radiant says, trusts you.
I'm going to say at this point, building 4 collapses, building 1 collapses. Building 5 is the only one still standing, but it is looking... It'll be gone in the next half a minute.
Is there anywhere near to the walkway that would provide cover enough for any of us to hide?
What you could do is you could literally edge yourself up against the wall and hope they kind of run past you Scooby-Doo styling. But in terms of places that you could hide, your best roll investigation or perception, depending on what you're trying to...
Nat 20.
Nat 20. Your best bet would be Gronoth's estate.
Okay.
Within Gronoth's estate, you've been into his residence before. You know a vague layout, and it's not on fire.
Is the gate currently open?
The gate's open. Yeah,
Okay.
Gronoth died against it.
Turn to these two and go, we need to get some cover, should we?
Let's
move
go.
now.
Okay, so you slip inside Gronoth's estate. Are you just going to stay on the outer
Yeah,
bit?
like so that we can hopefully still see when the coast is clear to move.
Okay, so I'll say you kind of hide round the edge of the gate. We've established before that this gate is like metal barred gate that you can see through, but obviously the walls you cannot see through. So you tuck yourselves into sort of the corner pretty much where Gronoth died, actually, or maybe on the other side would afford a better view of the walkway. So if you all roll me stealth checks with advantage because you're having plenty of time to prep this. In fact, just roll stealth checks, don't roll with advantage, and we'll consider a group check. So
18.
18.
12.
Okay, that's success for the group. So you successfully hide yourselves in the shadows with a view of the walkway. Where are you and Raiden heading?
Yeah, so the wall which is sort of opposite the houses leading, sort of the wall which sort of leads towards the entryway.
Yes.
I'm guessing is pretty illuminated because of the flames.
Yeah, everything in that area would be essentially essentially it's kind of lit up.
Yeah.
It's pretty lit up.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty lit, man. Oh, God. Okay, so after saying to Radiant, trust me, follows me, I looked around and goes, okay.
I'll say you've sort of slipped away from the main thoroughfare.
Mm-hmm.
So you're in, when I say these buildings have collapsed, there's still a huge amount of material. Mm-hmm. So they haven't collapsed and are now lying flat leveled.
Yeah.
They've sort of collapsed in on themselves. So you essentially have these huge 1-2-story tall bonfires that are burning.
What about house number 1 being sort of more scaffold and everything? How quick is it burned and how...
That's gone.
That's gone, but is it literally ash or is there sort of just...
None of it would be ash by now. These things will probably burn for days.
Yes. But what I mean, like, is it sort of like burning small, or are there some bits which are like... Do I see any kind of timber that's fallen which is not really burned, but it's collapsed in as other bits?
Roll me an investigation check.
God, that is, 1 second. I think it's a 9. It's 9.
It's a 9, okay. You try, as you turn towards building 1 and you're sort of trying to figure out what you're dealing with, the heat and the light is so intense that it's hard to know from where you are whether there are bits that might offer cover because it's like standing next to a bonfire and trying to stare into it. It's just like a massive heat and light.
So what I is going to do then is, seeing that, I is going to turn back towards the wall and by the entry point, and I is going to use last spell slot to cast another silent image, this time to cast sort of like a potted kind of bush tree type thing.
Yeah, like a topiary style.
Yeah, so basically by the entrance it would be like a decorative thing that you might find in that the guards wouldn't necessarily know, and basically just create something that he and Raiden can hide behind by the entranceway.
Let me just check the size that you're allowed.
It's a 15-foot cube.
Great, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. So you create this large topiaried ornamental bush in a pot, and you drag Raiden behind it with you.
And when he does, Raiden kind of looks up at it and goes, It's quite beautiful.
I just doesn't know what to say and goes, he has been practicing.
And you hear, and in fact, Dolly, Calnis, and Endelian, you see this group of Barun guards in their sort of grey leather armour. They're holding there's nothing else for it. They're holding pails of water. They're trying to get a sort of a chain of water carriers. And Brynhilde, who's still got Grono kind of cradled to her. Everyone roll me perception. You can roll me advantage, Raiden and I.
Cool.
Kelnis?
27.
27. Endelian?
14.
14. Dolly?
Well, it's a nat
3.
20, actually.
A nat 20. Great. Always tell me a nat 20.
17.
17 from Radiant.
7 because he's dazzled by the turtle.
17 from I, 7 from Radiant. So, Kel, Endelian, you hear, you can see that Brynhilde is giving instructions, pointing at the other buildings. You can hear a tone that is commanding. You hear that she's saying, the far building on the end, we have to ensure that no one is inside. We have to do our best to get in control of the flames. They cannot pass to the estate. And Kel, with a nat 20, you do not recognize any of these guards. So it's not Marcus, who Radiant had the dealings with, and you don't recognize, for example, the guard that liked you as a cat. So it doesn't, you kind of realize that you're not in immediate danger of running into a guard who's an acquaintance or has dealt with you guys before. And they start to spread out. They're sort of throwing buckets of water and all this sort of stuff.
So I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that.
You've heard the instructions,
Yep.
but for the nat 20 was about the identity of the guards. I think
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
probably
I've heard
listening rather than
instructions.
looking. Yeah.
Okay, straight away then, I would like to cast Minor Illusion. And I want to cast a sound. I can create a sound or an image of an object within range that lasts for duration. You can create a sound. Its volume can range from a whisper to a scream. It can be your voice or someone else's voice. I want to create the sound of someone screaming from House 5.
You have 30 feet.
Oh God, how far away am I?
So I would say you could get to building 3.
It's 30 feet, yeah, damn.
But here's what I'd allow as a bit of flavour. I would allow you to, if you rolled a successful Arcana check, you can position it in such a way where, yes, it has a point of origin, but it would direct attention in that sort of down the street, if you like, rather than specifically in the centre. So let's call this a DC 14 Arcana.
It's a dirty 20.
It's a dirty 20, absolutely. Cool. So you create this noise. Describe the noise.
It's the sound of a woman and a child screaming desperately for someone to come help them.
Okay. And I'm going to say that with that, you see Brynhilde's head snap round. You see the guards who are holding these buckets, their heads snap. They don't know where they're looking. They know it's somewhere in the distance there. And yeah, I reckon they all start to head in that direction. I reckon you've essentially created an immediate need, and they're all going to start looking in that direction. Brynhilde is still cradling Grono near the walkway.
Okay.
She doesn't head off.
Okay.
Near the walkway.
Yes. So Brynhilde waited for all of these guards to arrive with the buckets. They walked down the walkway. She met them there, gave them instructions. They were going to start putting the fires out in these various buildings. And then I, who's hidden with Raiden in an ornamental topiary shrub, quite close to that walkway, created a sound that caused them to look down towards the kind of, in the most basic possible sense, the far end.
And her head is still snapped towards the other end.
Brynhilde is still looking, looking towards that end.
I'm gonna try and move towards the walkway.
Okay.
Nice.
Roll me a stealth check.
That's 22.
22.
She is on
You slip out from the gates, keeping in as much shadow as you possibly can, and you pass behind Brynhilde. Her guards have kind of joined, at this point, her guards have joined the massed ranks of those trying to establish where this sound is. So you make your way to the walkway past Brynhilde. I and Raiden No, you're not actively looking, so it beats your passive perception, so you don't see it either.
Okay.
I'm gonna get to the walkway, turn around. I don't know if you'll be able to see me from where
I
you
think
are.
we've been watching
I think
her.
you'd have known she'd gone and you'd know where
Yeah,
she
we
was
better-
going.
Dolly, where are you going?
Yeah.
Better follow me. Come on, it's time to go. Yeah, retcon that a little bit.
No, totally.
Dillian, let's go.
All right.
Stealth checks from both of you, please.
These normally go well for me.
Go on.
It does, actually. It's a 19.
19.
I have a 19 as well.
Okay. So Brynhilde has that beats Brynhilde's passive perception.
Are they walking like this?
Yes, they're walking like the whole thing is very Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo,
Actually,
very
is what I was
Scooby-Doo.
hoping for. So you managed to pick your way past Brynhilde. Neither Raiden nor I have any idea who the three of you are.
I takes off his cloak again. It's the one which he can change color.
Cloak of many fashions.
The cloak of many fashions changes it to the cloak, the color of the guard.
Yep.
And basically puts it around Raiden, and looks him in the eyes, puts it around and says, "Walks like you means it." And basically gestures towards the exit point, hoping that, a stealth check, but kind of into peripheral vision, might just look like another guard.
Okay.
And Radiant says, "Good thing I trust you." And then just kind of gets up, puts the cloak on, gets ready, and walks in the best possible way, as fast as he can, like this.
So you're telling me you like to walk in a stealthy way?
Yeah.
You try. So
Actually, no, I've got the cloak on.
can you roll me
No.
a performance
Yeah.
check?
Didn't
God,
Didn't you have advantage on the performance check because you
had a plus one to your
You had
next
a plus
performance check because you
drank the alcohol.
drank the alcohol.
So I've got a +1.
Yeah.
Can it be an advantage on the roll?
No, it cannot.
Because this is going to be fun, because I got an 8.
You got an 8. And you are appearing as you at the moment. As you come out from the shrubbery, you see Brynhilde, who is holding the body that you recognize to be Grono. And she sees you, and she says, she puts her hand on your shoulder and she says, "Your friends. We heard a scream.
What happened?
Someone came for him. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's gone."
He can't be.
And she looks at you, properly meets your eye, and you see like a hardening of her, and she says, "Your friends were here. You need to find them."
Okay, I will. What about them?
"I do not know. I do not know that name before you brought it to me.
Where did they go? Point me in the direction.
I don't know. We heard a scream," and she points down towards the far end.
Okay. You need to go and see to that. I'll look for my friends.
Roll me persuasion with disadvantage.
Bullshit check. 9.
A 9. She says, "I must stay here. I would not..." And she sort of looks down at Grono. "I would not take him near the fire."
Okay. I'll go and check it out.
Okay?
So, aware of that, he starts going in the direction of where the screams were.
Okay. What are you doing?
While this conversation is going on,
Yep.
I would like to slip around, because I'm not hearing, I'm doing this immediately as soon as this distraction is happening to Brynhilde, so I'm not hearing that he's going to head back down. I'm immediately trying to slip away down the entrance, the walkway.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check.
Yeah, that is a nice 28.
Okay, so you join the other three on the walkway. Roll me perception as you're making your way. I want to see how much you overheard.
That would be a 3.
A 3. Okay, so you didn't. You are expecting at this point to join to bump into Raiden. Raiden is not there. So the four of you are on the walkway. Raiden is not there. You do not know where he is.
Where is they?
I thought he was with you.
I sense him round here.
Oh, for God.
Radiant.
I immediately take the cloak of many fashions off and kind of conceal it.
Yep.
And I make towards where the noises were behind the guards.
Okay.
And I rush up with a level of urgency. Go, what's going on?
A guard turns to you and says, "Stay back, stay back. Stay back. It's not safe for you here.
I heard screaming. What's going on?
We are trying to establish that ourselves. If you could give us some space."
My friend has just been killed. Tell me what is going on.
There is nothing to tell. Please. You can roll me a persuasion with disadvantage, but at this point, you're dealing with guards who don't know about the death of
and
Grono.
it wouldn't matter, and it's a 5.
It's a 5, okay. So this guard actually physically puts their hand on your chest and pushes you back.
Yeah.
Says, "It's not safe here."
And then when he does it, because he's kind of still in a bit of pain, kind of stumbles to the ground. It's very, very painful. And then just kind of acquiesces and says, okay. And then makes back towards in the other direction.
Towards Brynhilda.
Yeah. No, towards where I was.
So let me show you a little where you were. So this is where Kelnis and Radian were. Brynhilda is here, and you have gone dig, 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 and then you're going dig, 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 dig.
So probably for those listening, we might
So
have to
essentially,
try and explain that.
But in the same, so at the walkway, as you're facing the walkway, you're standing on the plaza facing the walkway. Behind you, to your left, are buildings 3, 4, and 5. To your right, behind you, are buildings 2 and 1 and Gronoth's estate. Brynhilda is at the edge of that walkway. You have walked up towards buildings 3, 4, and 5, and you've been sent back down exactly to where you started.
Rushes back to Brynhilda and says, I've spoken to the guards. There's nothing we can do. These houses are completely lost. What do you want me to do?
She just looks at you and says, she still holding Grono, she says, "I have no orders for you."
This is the first time that Radiant's seen Gronoth's body since, and he starts to examine it.
Examine it in what way?
Just looking.
Okay.
Just looking at it. I think there's this kind of level of shock and horror on his face. It's just very different from the Antiqua that he saw at the beginning of the deference. And it's really quite alarming. I think a lot of the bravado that he puts on is kind of disappears where he's seen death properly. And is really taken aback and just kind of stumbles off and just wants to get away from it. And so he makes for the walkway.
Okay. So as the four of you are trying to figure out what the hell is going on, you do see Radiant emerge around the corner and walk out onto this walkway.
Where is the cloak?
What happened?
Where is the cloak?
Really in a daze, because I think the death of Gronoth hasn't really hit him. He doesn't really think and pulls out the cloak and just throws it towards Eye without even looking at him.
Just gonna hit his eye in the face.
And then just as he throws it, goes, "That was a terrible plan." And then just walks away. I think doesn't really accept that there are people around him and just kind of walks off.
Where are the 4 or 5 of you heading?
I'd say we go back to Casper's.
Okay, I think that's probably the best plan we have right now.
I say we go sort of charging past Radian. I'd probably grab Radian by the wrist and almost pull him with us, because we're in such a daze, and you need to come with us and just try and keep all 5 of us
I'm going to
together.
quietly cast Healing Word as well, which is
Leave me with my pain.
if you want to, but what is it? 1d4 plus 4.
Yeah.
1d4 plus 4.
Thanks. Oh, nice. I get 7.
I'm going to say as well, I'm sure you've done it already. You'll have to take that great healing potion off your inventory.
Yeah.
So you move towards the crest, and as you walk down this walkway, you realize that there are just people gathering and staring at the plaza. And as you look back at it, there are walls that would block much of the property from sight, but you can see the top of Building 5 just pouring smoke and flames into the sky. And the whole thing, the whole plaza, it's like someone has just painted the sky orange. It's like this thick, deep colour and smoke and noise, and you can hear the calls of guards as they're trying to douse the flames.
We really put on a show tonight.
Yeah, but I don't think it was the show we were expecting to put on, was it?
I saw something.
What did you see?
I saw their height. I saw that they were shorter than Grono. With that nat 20, were they cloaked and I couldn't really make anything out? Or did I get any sense of...
Cloaked.
Cloaked, fully cloaked, okay.
Dar, I think I said, and if I didn't, I do apologise, but let me check. I think it was a dark figure. Yeah.
I saw the blade. I saw the stabs. And I saw a small one.
Small one.
Smaller than a Grono. And then there was smoke. And I smells the blood. And I smells the smell of blade.
We need to get somewhere quieter before we can talk about this, but we're all thinking the same thing, right?
We need to get out of the street.
Yeah. And if we pass any taco stands, I could really use a bite.
Yeah, I mean, I can't emphasize this enough. Tacos and corn dogs, Barun was not ready. We've established, it's canon. I mean, I'd love to be able to help, but I can't.
I know, he's just got to
I can't.
Creatively, his hands are tied.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could fold a slice of pizza over some kebab meat, but you can't.
You can't make it drink.
Okay, so where are you guys heading? What do you guys want to do?
I think we're going to Casper.
I think
To
it's
Casper's.
Casper.
Okay, so you pick your way through these crowds, and in order to you get back to that sort of central park, that these gardens, and as you're passing the gardens, you've still got these perfumed braziers spilling perfumed oil into the sky, and you can't smell anything over the smoke, over the just that smell of like burning wood and tar, and you make your way back down towards one of the large spiral staircases. And then into the deal, and in the deal, everyone's looking up. Okay, it's of course there's still activity, there are still people doing things, but like it's almost as if the city is coming to a standstill. You are everyone seems transfixed by what's going on, and you can hear rumors already starting to circulate. What it is, who it was, what's happened. And you make your way through the crowds, down the alleyways until you find the old apothecary, and you come to where you know the entrance to be.
Sorry, Anne.
I goes, oh.
And the bricks fade. And the familiar firelight of the hideout glows at the base of the stairs. Everyone roll me perception. You can roll this with advantage. Dolly?
18.
18.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 from I.
14.
14 from Kelnis.
2.
2 from Endelian.
19.
19 from Raiden. So the first thing that hits you is there's a smell. It's like rust. It's like the slow decay of metal, and above that there's this cloying sweetness. And those of you who descended into the base of the jail know this smell. And you know this smell, because you just smelt it.
I pulls out 2 daggers. Turns and says, stops. This smell. I knows it. I smells it just now. This was with the Grono. This was with the jail. This was a Medea.
Eyes up, everyone. I'm gonna get my dagger out as well.
Sword is drawn.
Sword is drawn.
Yeah. Radiant casts mage armor on himself.
Okay.
I like to cast bark skin.
On yourself?
And I would like to slip into a shadow. If there is any.
I would say for the moment it's very hard to do because you are at the top of a staircase.
Okay. But it is high.
You descend the stairs, and the smell gets stronger. And as you emerge into the hideout, there is a figure sat with their back to the fire, facing out towards you, and their heads bowed. They're scribbling in a book, writing. And there's these golden curls that are falling down around their face. And there are 3 bodies on the flagstones. The blood slowly pooling out across the floor. The figure closes the book. She raises her head. It's Medea, her face streaked with blood and her green eyes are wide, and she takes a deep breath, looks at the 5 of you. She says, I knew you'd come. And that's where we'll take it.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hi, I'm baby girl Ben Starr. Oh, I think this is Ben's ad read. Ben's ad read. So it's probably better if Ben. Yeah, I can do it. I'm here. I'll do it. Hi, I'm baby girl Ben Starr, here with my eyes, nose, jaw, and lips in perfect position on my immaculate face. Does he read this? Because it felt rift on the day, which is arguably more impressive. Okay. Imagine me. Close your eyes and imagine me. Not doing that, you wastrel, you luscious, vicious cad. This is so specifically written for his voice. Imagine me, sword in hand or mid-spell. Now imagine me smaller. Smaller still. E'en smaller, my petal, till you could fit me in your pocket with your vape and your Invisalign and medicine for that thing we won't mention but seems to be mercifully, finally clearing up. He's written hold for applause. Congratulations, you've just imagined a mini. A mini-me, if you will, though for vital copyright reasons, not mini-me. I don't think anyone thought. Minis are marvellous things. Whether they're used for Dungeons and Dragons, another worse tabletop role-playing game, or just to place at your feet and make yourself feel like a musky giant, that is unbelievably Ben-specific. Well, if you love minis and you love Natural 6, and I know you love both, you marvellous mucky imps, then you already love crafted campaigns. They do all our minis, you see. Blighted Wolves and Now Dead Antiqua, horrors like Medea and Burks like Morgan. They do terrain and buildings and potions and tables and bookshelves and guards and trees and clerics and other things, and what's more, they do them brilliantly. So go check out their website, craftedcampaigns.co.uk, and while you have a browser tab open, why not follow me on Twitter? It costs you literally nothing, but it fills a void I fear I cannot otherwise fill. Bloody hell, Ben. And we're back. We are in the base of the apothecary. Everybody roll initiative. 20 or higher.
Roll some tens.
15 to 19.
19.
19.
Your dex modifier is higher. Your dex modifier is a 4, yours is a 3?
3, yeah.
So then we'll go I, and then Radiant. 10 to 14. Delian.
12.
I have a 12 as well.
Your dex modifier is Kelnis.
+3.
+3.
Mine's only +2.
Okay. made me scribble out now already. Galnis, Indelian. And then Dolly, what did you get?
A 9.
A
But then
9.
I did get too many nat 20s, so it's all going to even out for me now, I'm sure.
Okay.
No, that train could keep rolling.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
I don't. I do. I don't know what I believe in. I don't. I do.
Emotional
believe in
whiplash.
There's the, there's the emotional whiplash.
So,
I believe in Hank.
I believe in Hank.
so
Oh no.
Medea looks up and she says, I knew you'd come. You were good to me, weren't you? You got me out. And then she gestures to the bodies. They didn't. They left me. They just left me.
That's your chapter.
They didn't act much like it though, did they?
But
Not when
Webb's
I
not-
needed him most.
Webb's not going to like that.
She leans and she says, I know more than you, I reckon. She's going to hold her action. See how this plays out.
Okay. I would like to, because it's a cantrip, I would like to use minor illusion again to create the sound of a voice. And I want to create the sound of her own voice behind her saying, these are your friends.
Okay. She is going to roll an insight against that. She rolled a 21.
Okay.
So she hears her own voice. These are your friends. She turns back towards the fire, and then she turns to you. And she just shakes her head and says, I don't like tricks. So she's now going to use her action.
It's all right, be the barometer for us.
Okay. I'm going slightly out of order, actually. This is technically a lair action, but we skipped a lair
A
action.
lair action?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So only Aoife knows how bad that is for everybody. She reaches into
Does she though?
her jacket, if you like.
Okay.
This little sort of blue. She has what she doesn't have in the mini, but she has this cloak wrapped around her. A cloak a sort of dark cloak. And she reaches and she pulls out a dusty bottle. She throws it at your feet and it explodes. And the fumes of this substance fill your lungs and your eyes and your nose and your mouth. And you need to roll me a Constitution saving throw. What did you get?
What did you get?
Don't want to say.
You have to.
I got a nat 1.
You got a nat 1. Okay, you take 7 poison damage. You are poisoned. At the end of each of your turns, and we'll start it on the next round, because I've thrown this at you a little out of order, you're going to continue to take poison damage. And you need to kind of pass multiple saves to gradually get that poison out of your body.
Okay.
She is now going to, I'm going to say for round 1, that's her action.
Okay.
Unless you want to move, you've got things
I was
beyond
about to
your
say,
action.
I want to, in that moment, as the cloud goes up, and I want to take a step back and also try and use this cloud that I am like enveloped in to hide. Like I want to take a step back and kind of hide behind the table. So for those listening, she is ahead at one end of the room, and at the back end of the room behind me, there is a big sort of what would you call it, like bookshelf, but full of books and potions and stuff like that. And I'm a table in front of that, and I'm hiding behind that table, or trying to.
So roll me a stealth check. And yeah, just for our audio listeners, while you're doing that, audio listeners, they've gone into a long rectangular room. As they've come down the stairs, to their immediate right are 3 large bookshelves. To their left is another bookshelf, and ahead of them, this is on the shorter side of the room, is this table that I is now hiding behind. There are a load of boxes and crates and various accoutrements, chairs and stools that have been knocked over. The 4 bedrolls that you've seen before. At the far end is Medea with her back to the fireplace, and the bodies of Casper, Juno and Goff are on the floor before you.
It was a 19.
It was a 19. So, yeah, that passes.
Oh, I didn't like the way that took him home. Oh.
That does pass. Oh my! That passes. So I disappears into the kind of shadows at the back of the building, the back of the space. Radian, that is your turn.
Radian notices this and then immediately holds up his hands and goes, "Hey, hey, 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 hey," and kind of slowly use his movement to move towards her. I would say moves over to, without breaking eye contact at all. Where's Casper's body?
Casper's body is
He
here.
walks over to Casper's body. And he casts. Is there what? I see. There's some bottles there.
Yes.
Is that alcohol?
You don't know.
What I would like to do is I would like to, if that is alcohol, I'd like to get that and throw a bottle of alcohol on Casper's body.
Okay.
And then if I was to do that, could I do a cantrip on top? Just
I'm going to say that to get a bottle and to throw it would be an action. So if you have a cantrip that is a bonus action, you could also do that, but I'm afraid that wouldn't be possible.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so what he does is he walks over to Casper's body and stamps on Casper's head.
Okay.
And he doesn't break Medea's sight. And he goes, "Hey, we didn't like him. I didn't like him. Look at me, look at me. You did us a favor. We don't mean you any harm. How can we help you?"
Roll me a persuasion with disadvantage. She already feels like she's been tricked by I.
That is a 3.
Okay, she looks at you and she says, "Clever words." And then she looks down at Casper's body. She says, "Just like him. Look where that got him." And she is going to... That's your... Yeah, I mean, I guess you haven't really done anything that isn't... Yeah, that is your action, I reckon, in terms of... You can still throw your bottle on him if you want.
No, I don't have a bottle. I don't have a bottle.
You drink
I
out of
chose not to have a
maple
bottle.
syrup.
My thing was just saying to her, we're just like you. We did you a favor.
I'm going to say you've used your action to try and de-escalate the situation that hasn't been
absolutely.
successful. You have, I would say, you have movement if you want it. I think you've probably only taken, those squares are 5 feet of movement, I think we said.
You spoke about having the healing surges and stuff.
Yes. So would you like to try and do this thing that we just discussed off camera?
Yes, please.
So for those of you, we haven't actually, I don't think anyone's used them so far, but we are playing the optional healing surge rule, where you can roll up to half your hit die as a bonus action, adding your constitution modifier each time in order to regain some extra HP. And Radian is very spell light at the moment, and so I suggested that as a little sort of exciting bit of homebrew, that he could choose, rather than taking any healing, to use his arcane recovery and get 1 spell slot back as a bonus action, and then lose the ability to cast healing surge.
Yes.
Some people are going to hate that. I really like it.
I think it's good.
Okay. So you are going to. So tell me about arcane recovery, because you've never used it before.
Yeah, once per day you get. After you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover up to a combined level of 2.
Great. So you can get 1 2 or 2 1s back.
I'm going to get 2 1s back.
2 1s back, baby. And that, therefore, is your turn. And as you have approached her and got closer, she is going to take a legendary action. And she goes, no. And she's going to rush forward and come to here. Well, in fact, she's going to kind of come to here, kicking Casper's body out the way as she does so. She's going to stab into you.
I look forward
That is
to
a 22 to hit.
Yeah.
She hits you for 6 piercing damage and 10 poison damage. 16 damage total.
Great. Just see. Am I allowed to say how much HP I have left?
You can do whatever you like.
I have 1. So as that happens, Radiant has been through some stuff today. And he is fully, keeled over. He kind of trips, and then his body almost falls onto Casper. His hand just kind of holds there, and he's heavy, heavy breathing. He can't even contain it. He is down.
That is Kelnis's turn.
Okay, well, there's no talking now, is there? We're in this. Okay, I would like to cast Summon Beast
Okay.
at 2nd level.
So tell
we've
us
not
about
done
that
this
spell. We've
before,
never
yeah.
used that spell before.
So, I can call forth a bestial spirit. It manifests in an unoccupied space that I can see within range. This corporeal form uses the bestial spirit stat block. When you cast a spell, choose an environment, air, land, or water. Your creature resembles an animal of your choice. The creature is an ally to you and your companions. Shares my initiative count.
Takes its turn immediately after yours.
It obeys my verbal commands.
No action required. Wow, so you
So
don't even
it's
have
a
to use a bonus
bonus
action.
action. No, it's not-
No
don't even
action
have to.
required. You just tell it what to do and it will do it. So this is even more powerful than your wildfire, actually, because you don't have to spend any action economy commanding it to do anything.
That's pretty much it.
Cool.
So I summon Beast, and I summon. It doesn't give me a limit on size or challenge rating or anything like that.
No, but that is because we already have statistics for it. So it has it will have an armor class of 13, and it will have a certain amount of HP based on whether it's air, land, or water, and it has all of its speeds and all of its stats already. So essentially, you bringing it forth, it will not. You could say I'm bringing an elephant in. It would be an elephant that is appropriate to this level of. In the same way, if you said you were bringing a mouse in, it's appropriate to this level. So essentially, the description of the form is flavor, rather than something that's going. If you say I specify that I have a saber-toothed tiger, you can't do more damage with its saber tooth. And its saber teeth, I believe, is the correct grammar, or its claws, because I said I summoned a tiger, it would just function in the way that the stat block dictates. It's a small beast, it says, in fact, in the beast spirit.
Yeah, what does that mean though? Like
So a small
gopher?
beast. Sure. Why the hell not? I mean, if you want to gopher.
No, I don't want to go for. I don't want to go for.
Right. Well, no, I think you said gopher now, dog.
No, I just meant
sure.
small beast. How long is a piece of string? How small
how
is
small
a
is a
small?
beast?
Yeah.
Give me a small beast would be
Panther.
a baboon. Let me see if I can find some small beasts for you. But essentially, this is flavor and fun. So rather than worrying too much about specifically what it is, small beast, baboon, bloodhawk, eagle, and a giant centipede are the 4 that I've just immediately pulled up
At the
as
same
options.
time?
At the same time, like Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
So like a wolf wouldn't be considered a small beast.
We could have a young wolf. My point is, it doesn't matter. In a great way.
because it has the
So if
stats
it feels so if it feels cool to you for it to be a size appropriate wolf, let's have a size appropriate wolf. Let's have a pygmy wolf.
It's a centipede, and it's massive.
For a centipede.
Yeah, I'm going to call forth a young wolf.
A young wolf. So I'm going to say wolf is called forth. They have an AC of 13, and they take
13.
their initiative just after you.
And I think they should have 30 hit points.
They have 30 HP, yeah, absolutely, because they are a land beast, which means they have a speed of 30 feet, and they also have a climb speed of 30 feet. So this wolf would be able to climb walls and ceilings as if they were flat terrain, like a spider would be able to.
Okay, so I guess that's my action, isn't it?
That is your action, absolutely.
And I want to call it forth just behind Medea.
Great. I'll tell you what we're going to do to stand in for this little wolfy beast. We're going to have a little D4 that will stand in for your wolf. Oh, in fact, the wolves. I think the wolves that we have from McEntire are maybe a little big and a little bit triggering. You'd like it to stand just behind?
Just behind Medea.
Just behind Medea here.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Ow.
Great.
And is that my turn?
You still have a bonus action. If you could, you have bonus actions.
Is he down?
He is not.
No, I'm wounded. I got 1 HP, breathing heavy, making a massive deal out of it.
He's not wearing it lightly. In fact, he's in much more trouble than you'd assume. You assume he's making the most of it. He is actually mechanically almost dead.
Yeah.
But it's the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
That is my action. I can move, but I can't do anything else because Summon Beast is not a bonus action.
Yeah, so if you have something that you could do as a bonus action, you can still do it. So the only thing you could do is you could cast a...
Healing word.
Healing word, yeah.
But they're 2 spells.
Oh, that's true.
You can't
yeah.
cast 2 spells in the same turn. But you can absolutely move.
No, I think I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay, so that is actually...
Why won't someone help me?
That is the wolf's turn. And the wolf has pack tactics. The beast has advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of the beast's allies is within 5 feet of the creature and the ally isn't incapacitated. Now, this is exactly what you fell foul of at the top of Mount Atria, or more specifically, Morgan fell foul of at the top of Mount Atria. So this little wolf is going to use its maul attack, rolls a... what is your spell attack modifier, please? So your wisdom modifier. It'd probably be +5, but I'm not sure.
It's been a while since I've had to use this.
Spell attack modifiers at the top of the spells page.
It's the one that you use the most.
Oh, there you go,
+7.
+7.
Let me just spell attack modifier. Yeah, does that include proficiency? Or would that just be the stat itself? It's either a 16 or it's an 18. Either way, it hits. And that is 1d8 plus 4 plus the spell's level, which is 2. So it's 3 plus 4 is 7 plus 6 plus 2 is 9. So you all watch as Kelnis calls forth this spirit with a wave of his hand, and this kind of pygmy... this sort of pygmy wolf appears behind Medea and just sinks its fangs into her back. She goes, turns around.
I think it's called Callum.
It's called, I think it's called Callum. I'm so pleased for you.
Callum the wolf.
That is Endelian's turn.
If I was to give Raiden a potion of greater healing, would that count as my... Can I use it as a bonus action?
You can throw it to him as a bonus action, and then he can drink it as an action or bonus action on his turn. If you want to actually help him drink it, that would be your action. If you want to grab him and plug him with it,
Yeah.
you want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Endelian moves over. This is why we shouldn't have let you tell anyone how many HP you got, because now they're all trying to keep you up.
I knew it was a glass cannon anyway, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been looking cute.
So Endelian runs over to help Raiden. If you want to use your full action to with the help of someone who is conscious, I don't think we've ever really specified this. If you're pouring the potion into someone who is unconscious, they roll for the healing. So again, for anyone who's missed it, we're playing another little optional rule, which is if you want to take a whole action to drink a healing potion, you get max healing from it. If you want to use a bonus action to drink a healing potion, you roll for the heal. If you want to throw it to someone else, that's a bonus action. If you want to pour it into the unconscious mouth of someone, then that's your whole action, and also they would roll for it. But actually, you're using your whole action to pour it into to help a conscious person drink a healing potion. I'll say you can get max healing off that then, which... For a greater healing potion, I believe is 4d4 plus 4. You should have it somewhere on your character sheets.
It is.
Yeah.
4d4 plus 4, okay?
Yeah.
2.
How do you miss it?
4.
4. 3.
7.
And a 1.
8. 12. You regain 12 HP. You regain 12 HP. You still, I would say you have enough movement to retreat if you want to, Indelian, or you can stay there.
I'm going to stay there, and I'll action search.
Sick. So you action search. So go again.
So I'm going to attack with my sword.
Okay. So you step into.
Yeah, remember that.
Step into Medea.
Harry's bum.
My bum.
My bum.
My bum, thank you. And you can make an attack. You can take one additional action, which would be one attack.
So it's a 7 plus a 7, so it's a 14.
14. You step towards Medea, having thrown this chugged this healing potion down Radian's neck. And she looks at you as you're approaching and says, "Oh, right. All friends, are we?" And then as you go to swing your sword towards her, she just dips a shoulder at the last moment, and that attack misses.
So a 16 hits and a 14 doesn't.
That is Dolly's turn.
If there's room, I'm gonna sort of slowly walk towards Medea, kind of like just try and get her attention a little bit. I'm just gonna be like, "What's the plan, Medea? Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do?"
So, do you want to walk round to the
yeah,
left
I'm gonna
of
go
Radian?
round to the left of Radian.
Let's just do this.
I'll
just hit this.
just be like,
What a trio.
I'm trying to drink.
What a trio.
yeah. Just be like, what are you gonna do? Like, we're all friends here, but I mean, what's your plan after that? I mean, you're not special. You're not even the scariest thing in this room. I am. And then I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers at level 2.
Okay. What does she have to do?
It is a Wisdom saving throw.
She rolls a 9.
Yeah, it's 3d6 psychic damage. Must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Okay.
So I need another d6. I'll just can I borrow one?
Which one?
D6. That's 9.
9 total?
Yes.
Okay. You see her, she looks at you, and for a second her eyes kind of widen, and she stumbles back towards Callum, who is going to take an opportunity attack, which is going to hit.
Good Callum.
And
Good boy.
Callum bites into her. Oh, rolled really well.
Yes, Callum.
For 14 damage.
Oh, Callum.
We can cast 2 spells in a turn except for one if one's a cantrip.
Yeah, I mean, technically, I think it's meant to be the case that if you cast a bonus action leveled spell, you can use a cantrip of an action.
Never
but
mind.
I'm actually not that bothered about that.
So it would a cantrip of any flavor.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cantrips don't count as...
Cantrips and leveled spells are different things. That's why they don't use up a slot.
Yeah, so I see Callum takes a bite and that she's a little bit flustered to be like, "That was embarrassing, wasn't it?" And cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay. That's a bonus action. Is that a bonus action?
No, I thought we were allowing it.
No, so
never
I'll
mind.
allow one if one's a bonus
Okay,
action,
never
one's an action, but I won't
Gotta
allow 2 level spells.
rewind
No, I won't
it,
allow 2
fine.
actions.
And then she goes, "Wait a second, I didn't say." Ignore me.
She stumbles into a wolf and goes, "What?" And misses the whole thing. She's used her movement to move away from you, right?
Yes, that's right.
So I'm going to say
as
as far as she can get, she's going to back herself into this corner behind the body of Goth, who never did no harm to anyone. That is Medea's turn. She is going to. Does the vicious mock
Dissonant Whispers
have any lasting effect, or is it only?
The creature doesn't. Deafened creature. No.
Okay.
No.
She is going to.
Technically, has she already used her? Because that's a reaction. She must use her reaction to move as far away as possible.
It's now
So-
back to the top of
Oh, right,
initiative.
got you.
Because
Yeah,
you
never
rolled
mind.
lowest and she rolled a 22 on initiative, so we're back to the top of initiative.
Why do you roll so well on initiative?
Yeah.
Because I just cheat behind the
just
screen
don't
as long
like
as I
that.
want until I get good stuff. So what she is going to do, actually, in terms of who's really done the most Kel damage to her,
Callum.
she is going to go for Callum, I'm afraid.
That's what he's for.
She's going to...
That's why I gave you.
Cannon fodder.
That's true.
Go on, Callum.
She runs forward, sort of stepping on the body of Juno, and you hear her mutter under her breath, "I hate dogs." That is a 14 to hit, which hits because he is
Armor class 13.
armor class is 13, and that is 7 damage plus. So that's 10 damage on the first attack, and then she's going to stab into him again, and that is a 16. Didn't roll as well that time. That is so did I say 13 damage for him on the first one?
10?
Did I say 10 damage? 10 damage.
No, am I making
Yeah,
that
I think you're
up?
probably right. And then that is another 7. That's another 8. So you hear gives a little as she stabbed into him. That is a lair action on initiative 20. She reaches into her robes again, and she looks at you, Dolly. Let's see what she gets. Okay, cool. She reaches into her robes, and she pulls another bottle. And this one, the liquid in it is, even as you look at it, it's almost like you can see faces emerging through the liquid, and they feel like faces you half recognize. And she slams this bottle into the floor at your feet. I'd like you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Roll high.
No, high.
Wisdom save. Oh, it's just an 8.
Okay.
Don't like that smart.
She casts Dominate Person.
Oh, fuck.
Oh.
And she says, "Kill them." You have disadvantage on new saving throws to break this for the next hour. And she casts it without concentration.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to say the 4 of you don't know what the hell has happened. You don't know what mechanically has happened. That is Ai's turn.
So I would like to run round to the right-hand side of this room, and I would like to cast Mage Hand and pick up the book that she was writing in and hold it above the pot of stew that is behind her.
That's really fun. That's really, really fun. Yeah.
And I want to get her attention. It says, You, Amadea. Missing some things.
What is the range on that? God, I want this to work. A point you choose within range. Let me just see what the range of Mage Hand is.
It's 30 foot.
It vanishes if ever more than 30 feet away from you. So you tell me where you're looking to run to, because you're going to need to stay 30 feet away from that cooking pot.
Yeah.
Which is a sentence I didn't actually think.
So I would like to run sort of behind by this bed on the floor, I guess.
Bed on the floor on the right-hand side.
That puts me within 30 feet, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That does it, baby.
And I want to hold it above. I want to hold this book above the pot and say, missing some things. And then I look towards it with my eyes in a kind of.
Roll me a persuasion check. Or an intimidation check.
Okay. I says, missing something. Yeah. It's a 19.
It's a 19. Okay. Here's what she's going to do. She looks back at the book and goes, "No!" And she's going to use a legendary action.
Done.
you see what you saw up on the crest. This swirling smoke. She disappears and she appears with her hand on the book. She teleports. That's not what happens. She disappears and you see the book move. She's invisible. So,
Can Colin take an attack of opportunity as she turns? Because she had to turn, didn't she?
just 1 second, please. You don't get an attack of opportunity when they turn. You get an attack of opportunity when they leave your space. So she creates a sudden distraction, such as a cloud of disorientating smoke or flash of dazzling light, filling a 10-foot cube within 5 feet of the assassin, which I'm going to say is going to hit Raiden, is going to hit Endelian, and is going to hit Callum. Each creature takes 8 damage. 8 psychic damage. So Endelian, Raiden, Cass, and Callum take 8 psychic damage. I'm going to say that wouldn't count as, that's not physically leaving the space in the same way, that's disappearing. So I'm going to rule that there are no attacks of opportunity available on that one.
And she's just disappeared.
She's disappeared.
Okay, so I says, seeing that the book...
The book is like snatched out of the air.
It says...
The book is being... And then the book disappears as it's snatched out of the air.
Says, Medea is by the pot and would like to use my bonus action to try and slip between these two bookshelves and hide.
Stealth check.
Oh, God, 13.
13. You can still move there.
Yeah.
It doesn't do quite as much as you might have hoped.
Also, without wanting to be too teacher's petty, I have
Go on.
poison.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so it's the end of your turn.
Yeah.
So you take 2d. Let me just check if it's a 6 or a... You take 2d6. In fact, you repeat the saving throw. So roll me a Constitution saving throw.
It's 13.
Passes. Roll me 1d6.
2.
You take 2 points of poison damage. I will also say, so this is the poisoned condition, which I haven't explained because you didn't essentially need me to, because you didn't use an action in the same way. Let me just give you the poisoned condition. You have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. So actually, technically, you should have had disadvantage on the hide, but as you failed anyway. So you have disadvantage on attacks, you have disadvantage on ability checks. So you essentially have disadvantage on everything apart from saving throws for now.
Okay.
That is Radian's turn.
So I just can't see her.
You can't see her, but here's how invisibility works. Eyes just said she's over by the pot. Invisibility doesn't mean you can't attack, it just means you attack with disadvantage. Because you are relatively new players, I will help you out with something, which is it makes targeted specific attacks, like something like Firebolt, harder.
Great.
But if you have something that's an area of effect and requires her to do a save, there's no gain. She doesn't gain anything from being invisible.
He's going to do his last second level spell, and he's just going to fling web in the direction of the pot.
Okay, very good. Tell me what she needs to do, please.
She would like. I would love her to. Each creature that. Goes not anchored. I think she needs to save against my spell save DC. Which
Okay,
is,
and it's a dexterity saving.
It's a dexterity saving throw. Spell save DC, just to check. You conjure a mass of thick, sticky webbing at a point of your choosing within range. The web fills a 20-foot cube for that duration. Each creature that starts its turn in the web enters them must take a dexterity saving throw and beat my spell save DC of 14.
Okay. She has a +7. I'm going to roll in front of the table, in front of the screen. That's a 6 on the die, becomes a 13. She fails. She burns a legendary resistance. She passes. Legendary resistance is something that higher level enemies have. They have a certain amount of saving throws that when they fail, they can choose to pass, but they can't do it very often. So she burns one of her amount. So web appears. She is not restrained within it, but she will be there
For the next turn.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, movement-wise?
I would also like to. I think I also have one of my own potion of greater healing. And I'd like to use a bonus action to drink that.
Okay, so roll me 4d4. Oh, I made a big mistake. I said that you could use the maximum healing of it because you were having Endelian help, and then you rolled it. So take the maximum healing, and we'll treat the one that we did
that
then.
was the-
So we've just inverted it. So that is 44 plus 4,
18.
so that is 20.
No, 20, sorry.
So I get 20 back.
You get 20 back.
Don't need it.
Cool, I know who to target. Kelnis, that is your turn.
I still can't see her, can we? But but
No, she does. She hasn't become visible. But as I said, all you would do is if you were targeting her with a specific spell or a specific attack that requires you to make an attack, you roll it with disadvantage. If it's something that requires her to make a save, she does it as anyone else would.
I'd like to cast. Assuming Kelnis doesn't know exactly what Raiden was trying to do.
Well, the web still appears. The web is there.
Oh, the web.
Yeah.
She just saved.
Yeah. So she's not restrained by it, but the web still exists.
Oh. Okay. And I suppose I don't know if she's in the web or not. But if I were,
guess you wouldn't. You could. I would allow you to intuit as an intelligent person would, whether or not she'd be in
Yeah.
it.
I'm thinking what I'd like to do is cast Scorching Ray at where I think she is with it, because I can see the web, with the intention of hitting her, but also hoping that it'll catch the web on fire.
So you would like to aim at her with disadvantage, or you would like to aim at the web?
Isn't it kind of the same thing?
No, because if you target her and hit her, she would take the full damage from Scorching Ray, plus any fire damage from the web burning. If you wanted to guarantee hitting the web, she would only take that damage, but she'd take it.
Well, I can choose where things go, can't I? Because it's 3 rays. So I'd like 2 to go to her and 1 to go to the web.
And do you have to make rolls for those?
Yeah.
So can you make me 2 rolls with disadvantage and then 1 flat? So let's do the 2 rolls that are going to go towards Medea. So there are +7 to each one. So roll twice and take the lowest. What was that?
That was a 14, and that was, there's 14.
Okay, so a 14 total.
For the first ray to
The
hit
first
Medea.
ray misses.
Okay. So that's a 26.
26 hits. Okay,
So that one hits Medea.
yes. And then roll 1 to... In fact, I don't think... You can, roll 1 to hit the web. I think the web is almost impossible to miss.
It's 25.
Yeah, hits. So let's say that the... Can you roll me the damage from one of those scorching rays that hits her, please?
2d6. 10.
10. So she takes 10 fire damage and she suddenly becomes visible again. She goes, and you can see these flames that sort of lick all the way up her body, like up her cloak, her hair is singed. And then you also targeted the web. So let's say you can do an extra 2d4 fire damage to her as some of that web burns away.
Come here, you. 2d4.
Yep.
4 and 2.
4
6.
and 2. So another 6. So she's now visible. There's nothing she can do at the moment because she's used her legendary actions. That is Callum's turn.
Go on, Callum.
What do you want Callum to do?
I want Callum to attack the lady.
Callum will go into the web to do that.
Oh, that's right. She's in the web, isn't she?
Burnt away.
No, 5 feet worth of it burns away. So I'm going to say the immediate 5 feet around her. So she's no longer, she was never restrained by the web anyway, but essentially if you imagine that one of those squares is now...
Perfect.
In fact, I'm going to say Callum is very much nearly in the web anyway. It's a 20-foot cube. So it's a 20-foot cube. Cool, yeah. So Callum's very nearly in it anyway.
Callum's got a +4 to strength, and it's a strength modifier that to whether you're entangled in the web or
it
not.
is a dexterity saving
Dexterity.
throw. On a failed save, Callum would be restrained, and then once in, he could make a strength check using his action to get out of the web.
Okay, well, I think he's a good distraction, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Callum's going to go for it.
Okay.
Your meat puppet, Callum.
So
He is a bestial spirit. It's not an actual.
So in goes the spirit of Callum, who has a +0 to Dex.
Any Callums out there, we love you.
Rolled a 10. He is restrained in the webs at the very edge of where the web starts. So,
Callum.
Good boy.
good boy, Callum. You're doing very hard, trying very hard, doing very well. I'm going to say that essentially this area from beyond the fireplace going out to where Callum is now and then going into the wall is currently bewebbed. Enrobed in web. So that is Callum's turn. Callum is now restrained.
Finally.
Fight me, you coward!
You cannot restrain Callum.
That is Indelian's turn.
I'm going to face the same problem as Callum in the sense that web is there. So we're just going to switch out to longbow.
Great. Switch
See if
it
I
up
can
to
take
the
a pop
longbow.
shot. Yeah. Not as good for me. So this is only a +4 to my.
Okay.
Oh, actually, it's not that bad. It's a 21.
Yeah, hits.
So longbow for me is only a D8 +2.
Only a D8.
Only a D8. I love that.
Leave me alone, everybody. So it only hits for 6.
Okay, 6 damage. She is going to take all of that damage. Which is 6, you said.
Yeah.
Great, takes her down to that. She looks up, and as you shoot this arrow into her, she's holding her book in one hand, and you slam this arrow into the other shoulder. She just looks at you and goes, and pulls the arrow out, and there's this like spurt of blood onto the webbing. That's Dolly's turn, unless you would like to do anything else with your turn, unless you want to take any movement or anything like that.
I think I'm going to break up our little party just a little bit because 3 people together is a little bit. It's a little bit AOE for my liking.
Not that we're metagaming or anything.
No, but there's nothing good about being a tank in an AOE. We're not sharing an AOE is usually the problem. That's Final Fantasy XIV's taught me anything.
And it has.
And it has, which is get away from the squishies if you think you're going to slam an AoE into me. So I'm going to move over to the side of the room that I is actually on, but it's more to the side than it is to go forward because I don't want to go anywhere near the web. I don't want to get stuck in that.
I leans out and goes, "This is my hiding spot."
Honey, not even hiding.
You're standing on one of the bedrolls, essentially.
Fine.
One of the bedding on the right-hand side of the space. Dolly, that's your
Find
turn.
your own place.
So I've heard this order being issued to me. I can't do anything
Can't do
about
anything
it.
about it.
Guess who's closest to me?
Radiant
We're anyway.
Thornbear.
Yeah,
Radiant
I mean-
Thornbear, I don't care. I've got all my hit points back. Radiant Thornbear.
And he's distracted. He's looking the other
I
way.
find this narratively satisfying.
Find
I don't
all
mind. I do. I like it. Like I don't mind. Hit me. It's great.
Yeah,
Let's go.
well, I mean, you know, her eyes are kind of glazed over at this point. She's going to take her dagger and she's going to try and stab you with it. Sorry.
Oh, make an attack.
It's nat 1.
She stabs herself.
Can I describe what he does?
Yeah. As long as you don't. Yes, as long as it's within what your character can do.
Yeah. He sees his dagger, and grabs her hand, and goes, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I'm not. I can't say it like I'm not myself.
You look in Dolly's eyes, and Dolly is like glazed over.
And would he recognize that in her eye?
You do not. I would say
furious.
this is not a spell that you have access
Great.
to. I don't see any reason why you would. You can roll me an insight check with disadvantage to try and see whether or not you can determine that she is somehow acting against. She's not acting of her own volition.
I quite like that he just doesn't know.
Great, Sean.
He's really, and by the way, Raiden is absolutely fuming.
Fair, to be honest.
Yeah. So it's a rare non-misstep socially from Raiden.
I really,
What?
It's actually a very reasonable
A broken
reaction.
clock is right twice a day.
So he turns
I
around and says,
really do
"Excuse
not
me."
like you right now.
Okay, that's fair. I've just tried to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay, that is Medea's turn. She is going to. She has seen I, because you didn't hide very well. She is going to take a risk and try and run through the web. And I'm going to have her make a dexterity saving throw as she runs through the web. She rolled a 9. She fails. She burns her final legendary resistance to make it through the web without being restrained. She gets over to I.
And I turns to Dolly and says, "Actually, yours can have it."
And she is going to take 2 poison blade attacks at you. The first one is a 16 to hit,
Armor class is 16.
which hits. The next one is a 17. I've lost my lovely damages. So I'll do both the piercing from both first. So the piercing.
That's not a good
Don't do
sign.
that noise.
That's not a good sign.
16 piercing. And 5
No.
poison.
I'm down.
21 damage
Oh
total.
my god.
I'm down.
You watch as the People's Princess drops to the flagstone floor.
And I can't heal you.
You cannot. That is a layer action.
Oh Jesus.
I'm going to have her. Okay, so I need to roll a 5 or a 6 on this for anything to happen. It's a 1. Okay. She reaches into her robes to grab another potion, and she's sort of scrabbling around for them, can't find it. That is your turn. I'd like you to come around here.
You can do it. You can do it. You're fine. You're fine.
It's fine.
We believe in you.
Alice and Dolly rolled fine last time they had to
No, we didn't.
Yeah, I know. And it's also that moment where you'll realise we've worn sweatpants again.
Yeah.
It's the actual walk of shame.
Signs.
Wait, that was actually you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thematically quite satisfying.
That is a death saving throw from I. That is now Radian's turn.
As that happens, the noises from earlier kind of come back in Radian's head. The noises that he thought he heard when he threw the deck of cards. The same whispering starts happening, and it starts stirring in his head, and he kind of shakes it off, and then throws Dolly's arm down and says, "We'll talk about this later."
Reaction.
And then moves towards Medea.
Opportunity attack from Dolly.
Oh no. Okay, well I'm gonna try and stab you again, I'm afraid. That is what's my dex? 17.
Hits.
Okay. Roll your damage.
I'm gonna
Do it.
no, I
Do it.
shouldn't.
Do it.
You have been told to kill them. You are killing them in the most efficient way possible.
Then I'm gonna expand these and I'm gonna add some stank to it.
She's picking up more dice.
Yeah.
Why is she doing that?
Because she's been dominated.
That's not normally. That's character, not person.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, so she's gonna make another attack at you, and the dagger, just as it plunges in, there's like all these other daggers like sink in as well, and that is 5 damage.
Okay, and as that happens, he kind of like stumbles, but is still hell-bent on what he's going to do. And we've seen him do it before and it wasn't very successful, but he's pretty adamant that he's going to do it again.
Let me get her stats
All
up.
right, Aaron, sell it. Everybody get ready.
He reaches out, and as he stumbles, it kind of still trips him, but he still manages to make it to Medea, and he places a hand on her, and he says, "You need to stop what you're doing now," and he casts his hypnotic gaze.
Okay. So what does he have to do for hypnotic gaze?
You see, it's just a
These powerful magics.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Right.
Spell save DC 14.
She rolls a 5.
And so she is charmed. The creature's speed drops to 0. The creature is incapacitated and visibly dazed. Also, because this requires concentration, the web is completely gone.
She is immune to charmed. So the web disappears.
Yeah.
So tell me again what happens.
The charmed creature's speed drops to 0.
That, I'm going to say, even though she's not charmed, her speed will drop to 0.
Yeah. Incapacitated and visibly dazed.
She is incapacitated. And how long does that last, please?
Until the end of my turn. Till my next turn.
Until the start of your next turn? Or until?
Yes. An action, choose one creature. The charmed creature speed drops to 0, blah, blah, blah. You can use your action to maintain this effect on subsequent turns.
Does that mean you're up here now?
Oh, thank you. But that would mean that she would need to repeat the throw, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, she's not charmed by you.
No.
How could she be? But she is incapacitated, which means she cannot take actions or reactions. Her movement speed is 0 until the end of until the start of your next turn.
Yeah, and I like the image that it's not beautiful, it's not attractive. It's literally him almost like holding her wrist, I think, and he's like almost like pulling her eyes towards his, like pulling her downwards. It's kind of quite pathetic in a weird way.
Okay.
It's desperate.
That is your turn.
Yeah.
Kelnis, we're back to you.
I'm going to cast Healing Word on I.
Okay.
Thank God.
Do you want to tell everyone what you rolled?
I haven't rolled yet.
No. Do you want to know what he rolled in his death save?
No.
Was it?
No.
I rolled a 4.
That's so weird. All 3 of us have rolled 4s on our death saving throws.
You're not
Really?
using my
Yeah.
die, mate. You're not using my die, so that's between you and
Weird.
whatever gods you killed
That's
at
very
the top of a
strange.
mountain.
We didn't
trying to
kill
tell us
them.
Well, that's what I hear. Go ahead, Kel.
So I cast Healing Word
Yep.
on I. It's 1d4 plus 5 health. Do I need to roll it?
Yes, you do. You roll that 1d4.
Yeah, no.
You just roll the 1d4. It's not an attack, so
Yeah.
he gets it, and that's a bonus action. So you get 6 total. That was a 1, right?
That's a 1.
Not
Yeah.
loads, but
What, 6 what?
health.
Health. So I'm back up at 6.
Oh, yeah. 1d4 plus 5. Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
6 fish fingers.
So you get 6 fish fingers. You come too.
The taste of fish
with like just real flaky card.
Chunky ones as well.
Just before you've slipped into unconsciousness, and just before your eyes open, you're in a cave, and then your eyes open.
And Callum gets an attack now, doesn't he?
He does. You haven't used your action yet.
Oh, is that oh, you're
So
right.
a
That's
healing
a bonus
word
action.
is a bonus action. So you still,
Okay.
before we get to Callum, you still have movement and you have an action. Should you choose to take advantage of it?
No,
Yeah.
I'll just...
I want to use my sling and attack
Medea.
Medea.
Sure. Make an attack with that sling, baby.
Dad takes the sling.
It doesn't sexy sling.
Wait, you rolled a 4 just now.
What is it with the 4s? What are the dice trying to tell us?
Oh, that's nice. 23.
Hits.
So it's 1d4 plus 3 damage. 6 in total.
6 damage total.
And then I want to tell Callum to go eat her leg.
Go eat her leg, Callum. Go eat her damn leg. He's currently restrained, so he's going to...
the web dropped.
Oh, the web did drop.
Yeah,
Congratulations, everybody. So he is going to run in and take an attack on her. He rolled a 4 on the die, so that's not going to hit, I'm afraid. That is Endelian's turn.
When I hit her with the arrow, obviously she was holding the book over here and the arrow there. Did she sort of really, like the reactions to like, oh my God, thank God, not the book?
Roll insight.
I have no idea.
Yeah. She's insane.
Okay.
She's not in a good place. Very hard to. She's so erratic, and so impulse-driven, and she seems to be marching to the beat of her own drum so much that you're trying to like impose logic on the things she's doing and why she's doing them, and you can't do it.
Okay. But she did also absolutely flip when I tried to mage hand that book. So, using my action and my bonus action, because she's incapacitated, do I have the ability to try and take that book from her and throw it in the fire?
Yeah.
Then I would like to try and do that.
Okay. So she can't take actions or reactions. She can. So therefore, she can't roll a. Yeah, I mean, you just take it. She's like that. She can't move. She's not paralyzed. I would say, I'll tell you what we'll do. Roll a contested athletics. She's going to roll with disadvantage, and you can roll with advantage. So she rolls... Oh, she rolled exactly the same twice. So she rolls a 10.
So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. I rolled an 18.
Okay, yeah. You grab the book from her. And...
Throw it in the fire.
Throw it in the fire. And she can't... You just... She can't... She can't move. She can't do anything. So as you throw it into the fire, you just see her eyes go as they try and track where that's gone.
And then Raiden says, "Hey, don't look there. Look at me." And then goes, "You're gonna die here today."
Roll me insight.
He knows nothing. It's a 9.
Okay, cool.
pretty
The face doesn't move. That you can't determine any reaction. I am going to start rolling HP for the book. That's what I'm going to do.
Interesting.
Why does the book of HP?
Why does the book of
Why
HP?
does the book?
It's a very good question.
So I will do that at the end of Dolly's turn. So Dolly, that is now your turn.
God damn.
Sorry, guys.
PvP.
I don't know what I have to try and murder you. I don't want to.
I feel like low key this has sort of been something you've wanted to do anyway.
It's
great.
Game more. Yeah. Okay. So she's gonna take a couple of steps towards where the three of them are by the bookcase and go like that. Cast shatter. I'm sorry.
On
Well, how many of them can I get?
holy shit!
Don't do that as a reaction.
No, what's the
It's a
What's the
con
sphere?
saving throw.
Is it
The
a
sphere
sphere?
is
So it'll hit Medea as well.
it's a 10-foot cube.
You can hit Endelian, Radian, Medea, and I.
All of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
And
it.
Callum, technically.
No, it's 10 feet.
No,
It's not
10
going to
feet.
go that far.
Well, but
Why do you keep wanting to kill Callum?
Respectfully, he's not in it.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because she's centering it. Where do you want to center it?
well, it's just, Callum just tried to take a chunk out of
Oh, right,
Medea's
because he
leg.
moved. Okay.
Oh, we did. You're right.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
right,
apologise.
sorry.
I do
We
apologise.
We haven't moved.
Yeah. Can someone move Callum in for
have
me? And he
more
can also
Callum
maybe
or
die.
Endelian.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Doug. You were absolutely right.
I'm glad that Callum's dying.
So, I mean, I don't want him to die.
listen.
or
You do
anything
actually
like
No,
die.
that.
You do
that's
actually
right.
die.
We just forgot it to
We
move
heard
him.
we heard
Yeah.
you.
You do want him to die.
Okay,
Separate.
so
really want
everybody
Callum
makes
to
a
die.
Constitution saving
Secretly
throw.
on Dolly's.
She rolls. So that's a 15 from Medea.
Okay, she's saved.
And Callum rolled a 3 on the die. So Callum is going to fail.
So
Me and Callum.
And
Nat 20.
nat 20, so you will take half, I'm
yeah,
assuming.
well, so, okay, here it is.
Yeah,
Creature
nat-
takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one.
When you get to like level 7, you have this thing called evasion, where if you pass, you take nothing, and even if you fail, you only take half. But that's a really cool, fun rogue thing that you get at a higher level. I know, it's such a shame.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. So roll the damage. Medea takes half. I takes half.
I take half.
Radiant takes half. And Delian and Callum take it all.
Oh, me, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, I'm making you do I'm making you do it. Yeah. You need another D8.
No, I got one here. I'm just going to
Using my
Kill him
own
with
dice.
his own
watch
dice.
me kill you with your own dice. 10.
10 damage total.
Yeah.
So 5 to Medea. Callum disappears. Callum is gone. And Delian takes 10. And Radiant takes 5. I take 5.
Sorry.
Yeah, I is on death's door again with the taste of fish fingers in his mouth.
Way to go. Like, if that's
Yeah,
way
I
to
tell you
the
what,
final
last meal, yeah.
When can I try and...
End of your turn.
Okay. Right now, like...
Well, you know, actually, technically,
You should have tried, only.
you there's nothing in there that says you can.
Okay. So I just
There are certain conditions which will allow you to. You have not satisfied. Let me just make sure that's absolutely correct. No.
Well, sorry, guys. You had a good run.
That is Medea's turn. Medea is still incapacitated until the start of Radiant's turn. I'm going to rule in that case that the lair action doesn't happen either. Hypnotic gaze coming up trumps. That is your turn.
The healing surge. Would that take my entire action?
No, it's a bonus action.
Just a bonus action?
Yeah.
Okay. And if we were saying if we wanted to have a little look at these bottles, so there's bottles on the shelf next
That
to me
would
as
be
well.
an investigation check.
Investigation action.
You could here's what you could do. You could grab one and drink it or throw it, not knowing what's in it, as an action.
That's fun, though.
Oh, that does sound fun.
Or you can spend your action investigating it, and then you would know for your next round what you're drinking or throwing.
But I wouldn't necessarily know, would I? 'Cause if I failed an investigation, then it would still
You
be
wouldn't
a
necessarily know,
mystery.
baby.
So the healing surge is, remind me?
It's half your hit die, so it will be your hit die, two of your hit die, adding your constitution modifier each time. So you have 4 levels.
My
You are
hit
level
die,
4.
let me remind
So
me.
your hit die will be 1d8 as a rogue, I believe.
Yes.
So it'd be 1d8 plus your constitution modifier, and then 1d8 plus your constitution modifier.
4 plus 2, so 6. 6 plus 2.
So 8, 14.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
You make me very nervous when you do that.
I is going to grab a bottle
Yep.
and drink.
Roll me a d6.
Stupid.
6.
Okay, 6. Roll. Oh, hang on. Sorry.
So tense.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Is it fine?
Could you now roll me a luck check?
17.
Okay. You grab a bottle from the shelf. I've had this mechanic ready for so long. And drink it. And you feel fire, but then the immediate cooling of fire, and the center of you feels like ice. You have resistance to fire damage for 1 hour.
Okay.
That is your
I set myself on fire.
action to
Now-
drink. Yeah.
It was a bonus action, was the healing.
You've bonus
Yeah.
action healed.
Now, she wouldn't be able, because she's restrained.
Incapacitated. She can't opportunity attack.
I could, in theory, then use my action, my movement, 30. I'm within 30. I want to get over to the fire, and I want to reach into the fire and try and read something from the book.
That's fun.
Like, because I'm invulnerable to fire, so I'm reaching in, and I'm.
Well, you're not
I'm-
invulnerable.
Oh no, I'm.
Honey, you can't read.
Oh no!
Yes!
I totally
So
just
funny.
forgot. I can't read. Oh my god!
Try anyway. Try anyway.
I tell you what, I will let you on a nat 20. On a
Oh my God.
A nat
Okay, all right,
A
okay.
nat 20 intelligence check. You learn how
All right,
to
come on,
read.
Alex, come on. Right.
Oh my god.
Oh my
can do this,
word.
you can do this. Come on.
Imagine.
Doug rolled three 19s
shit.
in a row, by the way. This is
I'm
very
gonna get rid of
possible.
Callum.
Oh my god.
Bye, Callum.
Come on,
This is so tense.
come on.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I want you to know,
Just you.
just you right now watching this,
Or
you at
listening.
home, I want you to know, I always had this. That one. I just reaches into the fire and literally goes.
He
It's
fidgets
only
his
this a bit and then
it's
goes-
only
and then
seen other
goes-
people doing.
Makes it burn.
Do you want to take it out the fire or do you want to keep it in there?
Don't you call the gas, will it?
HP.
Too tense. Can't do it. I can't do
This
it.
is crazy.
I can't do it.
He was crazy for this.
No.
Okay. I'm not going to bother with HP. I'm going to say once it spends a certain amount of rounds in the fire, it's completely unreadable and completely gone. That is Radian's turn. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What else?
I
What
just
else
wanna
would
have-
you possibly?
Constitution saving throw. Thank
Poison,
you.
poison,
Thank you.
poison.
You're poison.
one.
Nat 1. Can you, that's okay. 1d6.
Poison a bit here.
Oh, also, you should have had disadvantage.
4.
You also should have had disadvantage on that.
Oh, that's true.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so you would have had to roll a nat 20 with 4. Okay, so you take 4 poison damage.
I'd like you to take another D.
I can't believe I forgot
No,
about
no,
it.
It's amazing. I love that.
But just to kind of give it a flavour, he's got the arm.
Yeah. Listening.
He's got the arm, and he kind of swings around, and then kind of like in the last ditch, kind of like pushes her up against the wall, and then so that they're in direct eye contact, and kind of tries to go again.
Okay. It's a 16.
Yeah.
So what happens?
Oh.
Does that
He's
pass?
not- pardon? Yeah. It's
Okay.
It's a 4. I mean, I think it's a wisdom saving throw on my DC 14.
Yeah. So you push her up against thing, and as you push her up against the bookshelf, her eyes kind of lock on you, and she smiles. Is that the? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Go on. Do your worst.
Don't say
Is
that.
that your turn?
Has to be. Yeah. I can't really do anything else.
Okay. So she again smoke. And I'm going to say in just Radiant. Can you you take 5 psychic damage, and in fact, no, don't worry about it. I'm just going to take her off. I know where she is.
No.
Don't like that you
I
said
don't like that.
just after saying I.
That is Kelnis's turn.
Well, shit. So she just disappears.
She disappears.
It's so hard. Without a target, I don't even know what to do.
No.
Well, I've seen what I tried to do. I assume. I saw him go to the fire
thing.
and try to get the book out. I see her disappear. I think I'm going to cast Healing Word again, but this time on Radian.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to move across to the fire,
Okay.
and I'm going to try to get the book as well.
What are you trying to do with the book?
Just save it. I want to see what's in it.
Okay.
Wouldn't be an opportunity attack there for me while he's walking back.
She's not in, doesn't come into your space.
Fine.
I love you trying so hard to kill them though.
Just can't play by the rules.
Yeah, they have to enter and leave your space.
I turns to Kelnis in all of this absolute chaos and just turns and goes,
Can you read?
So you just want to pull the book out the fire?
You saw me throw it in.
yeah, she threw it.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean we agree.
Do you just want to pull the book out the fire?
Well, I mean, if I have time to read it as well.
Great. You don't have to roll to read it. You can read.
Yeah.
So you pull the book out the fire.
But healing word. The healing
word,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So it's 1d4 plus
5.
3?
No.
Plus 5. So it's 6.
Okay.
Hanging on, boys, hanging on.
Okay, let me try something. Let me just. I wasn't anticipating there being a mechanic for this. But that's
It's been a
fine.
wild ride for me.
Yeah.
Roll me. Let me just do something quickly. Roll me a d6.
3.
3. Okay, so you open it to a random page. The first thing that strikes you is this is written in common, and the writing is like childlike. It's poorly written, and it says, the page you open it onto, I should have killed him, but he fascinates me, so strong of mind. I'm keeping him in the apothecary. I want to see how long he can last. And then on the next page it says, eyes feel different to the rest of a body. I made sure I got both.
Well, we saw that in action, or saw the aftermath of that in action.
Do you mind actually? You're dominated right now. Thank you.
I wasn't saying it in character.
I don't want to hear it from you right now. Go shatter something.
This is going to take a
I'm
lot
going
of
to say
daisy
now
chains.
that you've got that book, you can essentially just kind of keep. You're not going to need to. Well, actually, let's see
I
how
can
we
keep
go.
looking at it if I want to.
Yeah,
Have
let's
a
see.
read in the middle.
Let's see how
Yeah, why
let's
don't
see
you
how we
count
go.
us?
That is Indelian's turn.
With shatter, we know who cast it.
Yeah, you do.
Killer.
Oh, God.
How does knocking someone unconscious work?
You can do non-lethal damage. You can choose to damage someone without trying to kill them. If you were trying to beat her unconscious, you can absolutely do that.
Oh, I wouldn't if I were you, but that's fine.
Fine, just kill her.
He's back. Your gods are dead.
As will Dolly be.
So first of all, I'm just going to take a bonus action, and I am just going to cast second wind on myself.
Yeah, so
anyway.
you second wind, yeah. So you essentially
It's a D10 for me, so that is
plus your level.
yeah. So for me, it's a D10 plus 4. Oh, it's not great. It's only 7.
7?
Takes me back to 21, so that's fine. It feels like it's really clear there's something up with Dolly.
Yeah.
Why would Dolly cast shatter on us? I guess I know that she tried to hit her as well, but that doesn't really make sense that you go after all of us.
I'd hope not.
Gentle reminder, the last time we saw you had a conversation with the spinner that none of us are aware of.
Yeah.
And then we went to set houses on fire and Grono is dead. So as far as-
Traitor.
yeah, I'm not exactly vibing right now anyway.
Traitor.
And now we've gone into battle.
Yeah, but
And you said we needed to leave. You said we needed to get away. Casper sounded like a good idea, and we've walked into this bitch.
okay.
And now you're stabbing Radiant and casting shatter.
When you say it like that.
Let logic be logic.
all right, this ain't the traitors. All right, let's just all. If we're all gonna put
Okay,
my
so
name down on a little
start
piece of
walking
I
card.
want to
like
say,
Claudia.
guys, I'm 100% faithful.
So what are you going to do, Indelian?
Can I make it to Dolly?
Yes, you can.
Okay. The sharpest implement you have.
Stop talking immediately.
I'm going to head to Dolly, but not using my sword.
So you just want to sort of hit her with the pommel, or backhander or something.
Well, I was actually going to take it ahead and try and slam it into the chest.
So that's slam her head into a chest.
Do it.
Like a real...
The one with all the potions on it.
Yeah.
The one with all the potions.
I want to see... Yeah,
Just
smash
a
it.
reiteration of
Okay.
that.
Make an attack roll.
That's good.
You just have to beat her strength. You just have to beat her AC. I'm going to say for this, or actually, we could do opposed athletics. Let's do opposed athletics. So both roll athletics checks.
I mean, mine isn't going to be very good, but let's just have a look anyway. Athletics, yeah.
What'd you get, Dolly?
4.
What'd you get, Dolly?
15.
15. You slam Dolly's
In
head.
fairness, my athletics check is a +5, so...
You slam Dolly's head into a load of bottles.
Flatty, you might have enjoyed it.
I'm going to
Both of
say
us. Both of us.
you take 3 piercing damage.
And I'm going to say hellish rebuke.
Before you do, roll me a Constitution. Is it a Constitution saving throw? I think it actually might be a Wisdom saving throw. Roll me another Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving.
Yep.
15.
Passes. Your head is slammed into these bottles, and you're back. You you kind of can't remember how you got there, but you're you again.
Girls!
Girls goes after you slammed her. It's just a girl thing.
You enjoyed it! It's fine!
And can you roll me a
Have it harder next time.
Okay.
roll me a d6.
This episode has just been awful.
This is
1. Okay. Roll me a luck check.
Oh, God. I'm all flustered. Nat 20.
Okay. In that case, you can double it. Your head is slammed into a potion of healing. So you can let's just do 2d4 plus 4 and then just double whatever you
I'm
get.
actually full health.
Oh, what a waste!
But she goes, hey, girls. Slaps it on her belly.
So Dolly, you are back in the room. You just had your head slammed into a bottle.
What the hell was that?
What the hell was Shatter?
What? What are you talking? Where? What? Wait. What?
And it starts to come back to you.
Oh my God. Okay. And then I'm back in the room.
Pamela!
So it's
Sorry.
your turn, Dolly.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So she absolutely didn't like that at all. We can't see her, can we? Right now. Shit.
Right now you can't, no.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna be like, oh no. Okay. Sorry about that, and cast Healing Word at Raiden, who I think still needs it.
I do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's hold on, do a double check.
1d4 plus your spell casting ability modifier.
Well, I'm gonna burn my second level
Second
spell
level.
slot, and I'm gonna do 2d4 plus 4. Because I think he needs it. And that is
good roll.
11.
11.
What are you now up to?
Max health now.
Just a reminder, I am poisoned as well.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
God, you just can't let it go again.
I can't do anything about the poison.
Unless you want to take any movement, Dolly.
No, because there's nowhere I can really move to for it to be useful because we don't know where she is. No, I'll stay where I am.
So back to the top of the order. And like it's nothing, Medea appears
Don't be in the fire, you...
next to the fire, in between the fire and the bookshelf, closest to I, but also near our good friend, Calmus.
Good friend.
She is going to make an attack. Oh! The first one is a 10 to hit on I. The next one is a 14 to hit on I. She misses twice.
I sees her appear, looks at her and just goes,
Excuse? You can see at this point, she's as she's fighting you, with every kind of, when she's not kind of under a hypnotic gaze or incapacitated, there's like a joy in each thrust. Even as she's missing you, there's like a joy in it. That is her turn, but it is now the lair action. Yes. Okay.
No.
I'll explain after. I'll explain in the action surge. It's not as malevolent as it sounds. I've kind of taken some stuff down. Okay, so she reaches into her robes. It actually isn't as bad as it could have been specifically for you. She reaches into her robes and she opens a potion bottle and downs the potion and looks at you and she breathes fire at you.
Okay, I literally just stares her in the eyes, takes a direct hit from this fire, and doesn't blink, and then just goes, "Any more?"
You have resistance, not immunity,
Oh,
correct?
sorry. So I
Take 13 damage.
So I just goes,
I believe it was
I has
resistance. Let
a
me
lot of
check.
damn.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
your
it was.
equivalent of you have no power here, and I'm thrilled it finally happened. So that is
You has a moderate amount of power here.
that is this much damage halved.
I don't know how many dice that was.
That is 14 halved to 7.
Okay.
That is her turn. That is the lair action. The next person is you,
And am I, like, her distance from me, she's right next to me.
She's right next to you.
She would get an opportunity attack.
You can disengage as a bonus action.
Oh, I can actually, can't I? Yeah. In that case, then, I will disengage as a bonus action, and I will run back.
Do you want me to do this, Harry? So you're not
I'll
blocking
do
on
it. Do you
camera.
want-
Let's all crawl on the
my
table.
God, everyone's
Let's
the
everyone
other
on the table now.
Let's all go.
That is true, actually. I am the only one in the vulnerable bum position,
Well,
which
also
is which
because,
might not make
we
much
don't
sense
block
to the
any
audio
cameras.
people, but
But here.
the video people
I
will
do
know.
think
If I
this
do it, then
is
I'm not blocking
what we
the
should be
cameras.
saying is for those who are listening at home, it is really worth going and watching the actual video.
Yeah, for
just
bits
to
like-
see,
yeah.
Just see Harry's
Harry's
ass.
fantastic.
Thank you so much. I
It's
grant
actually
myself-
very impressive. I think about it a lot.
Oh, you're so sweet. Shall we do the D&D?
Yeah. Tell me where it's going.
So I would like to dash back to kind of where I was by that bedding. And I would like to. Can I do an investigation to see if I can find any healing potion? Any sort of like, do you know what I mean? I'm trying to, or just.
Well, what did you pull last time? You pulled a potion of
I gave
fire
you mine.
resistance.
You physically gave it to me.
Back like a few episodes ago, I gave you one at the very, very start of the episode.
I used one to heal you, and then you gave me yours, and then I
You
tried
tried to bring
thematically and
Rob
narratively.
I am going to
Used it on
say
Rob
what
while he
you
was
can
already
do
dead.
That's right.
is you can roll me an investigation check. You don't. What I'll say is you don't know what any of these potions do. But what I'll say is if you roll me an investigation check and you beat a DC, I will let you roll a D6 and I will tell you what that potion is.
Okay. It's an 18.
That's an 18. That super passes. So roll a D6 and I'll tell you what you get.
5.
A 5.
Potion of sweaty bum crack.
Yeah, that is that's what it is. It's a potion of comprehend languages.
It would be useful.
should definitely take it.
I mean, I'm taking it for sure.
You wanna drink it, or you
No,
want
I'm
to
gonna hold
store
on to it. I'm just
Okay.
gonna. Yeah, sure. Like, I mean, he's literally gone and just read the thing.
Yeah, I mean
so-
they're not all combat spells. Okay. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
That's my moon. My action, I guess, was
That investigate.
It's-
Yeah. I mean you chose to use your action to investigate.
So that's all I can do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That is.
The turn of the elf.
It will be, but she is going to.
Bask in the glory of the turn of the elf.
She's going to stab into Calnus.
Wait, why doesn't her turn over?
She has legendary actions,
She's too strong.
so she takes a step towards you, and she locks eyes with you, Cal. Stepping out from the corner in front of the fire, and she says, "I ain't never done that many Dragonborn." And that is a 23 to hit.
Oh, that definitely hits.
That is 6 piercing and 9 poison damage, 15 damage total.
6 piercing. Wow, 15 damage. Jesus.
That is Radian's turn.
I'm going to fire chromatic orb at her.
At her. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Make an attack. Roll.
16.
16 hits.
So it's 3d8. What is it that I do?
Big ball of stuff, isn't it?
It's a big ball of stuff. I want to know what
Thunder,
it is.
fire, acid, poison, lightning, cold. I think are your
Yeah,
options.
I quite like a bit of acid.
Sure.
Sure.
I love the flavour of acid.
I heard. Citric.
Tasty boy. Where's my sweet boy? Where's my dear?
A good damn boy.
There she is.
He's my sweet cheese.
A good time, boy.
That's a D10 that I've been.
Yeah, I did think that, but it was hard for me to call
Why
it without.
Can someone
Can
put
I
me
just
in
give you a
Thank
D8?
you. This
You want
is
a D8
This is
here?
D8 here. No, I don't want. I'm going to hit. Oh, nice. Oh, great. 13.
13. She is going to use a reaction,
I look forward to it.
uncanny dodge. She is going to take half that damage. So she takes 6 damage rather than 13. It's rounded down.
Subtle damage.
But you know what? Do I care?
A little. I mean, a little, right?
I think it's very important that when that happens, Radiant says, I was hoping it would do more.
She looks at you and says, I don't mind. Keeps us around for longer, doesn't it? That is Kelnis's turn. She's just stabbed into you.
Okay, I'm going to use a cantrip, poison spray. It's a Constitution saving throw for her. A 15.
She rolled a nat 1.
Way! That's 1d12 damage.
Oof.
5.
5 damage. You tell me what that looks like when you...
And she's poisoned, isn't she?
I would doubt that. It might be. I wouldn't think so on a cantrip. Yeah, she's not.
No, it's not. Yeah, she's not poisoned.
Yeah,
but
generally speaking, cantrips do either they do a condition or they do some damage, but they rarely do both because it would just be a bit too powerful.
Cool. So yeah, Kelnis, he just got stabbed. He reaches into a fold of his jerkin and he pulls up his small thing of powder and goes. Poof.
Nice, and she you see this, and there's a moment where as it's coming towards her head, kind of cocks, and then as you see her sort of rear back and trying to shake it out of her, it's almost like it's caught in the ringlets of her hair, and she's trying to shake it off her skin. That is Endelian's turn, unless there is anything else you would like to do, Callum. There's any movement? Okay, Endelian.
So far, nothing good has come from being near her, but at the same time, we're just not getting. We're just playing a defensive constantly. We're barely keeping ourselves alive. We're just not doing anything. So I am going to go in and I'm going to try and attack with my short sword.
Okay.
It's a fair point.
It's actually fair play, actually, Bennett. It's a really good point you
I've
raised.
done some damage to her.
Yeah.
No, you have. It was
Listen,
nice.
she's not. She's been hurt for sure.
But she's throwing legendaries out there. She and
She can do that. Go ahead.
That is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Hits her.
Cool.
Hits her.
As it should. Right, D6. So this is D6 plus 5. D6 plus 5. It's not great. It's only a 6 that it hits
Okay.
for.
6 damage total, you said?
Yeah. Then I can use my
Bonus.
dagger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Bonus action.
Yeah, use my dagger.
Offhand attack.
So that's 17.
Hits.
So dagger is a D4 plus 6.
Cool.
D4 plus 6. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. So it
absolutely,
hits
yeah.
for 10.
Whoa. Okay. She's as you sort of slash into her with the sword, and she sort of smiles at you, and then and as she's done before, she's sort of kind of dipping and moving and trying to evade all the time, and you slip this dagger up under her ribs, and you hear like like a real, genuine exclamation of pain, and that's all that happens. Is there anything else you want to do?
Do something else.
What did you say?
Do something else as well. Do really well.
You've got movement, but she would get an opportunity attack on
Yeah.
you. What she might do.
No,
Quip.
No, I don't.
go on,
not
quip.
you. No,
Quip.
you
I'll-
quip.
I'll
I do
take-
not quip.
Radiant whispers.
Radiant
something to
throws his
Adelian.
voice.
Yeah.
Can you please do an impression of Endelian? And you think what you think she should quip?
Come on,
What did you just do to her? You stabbed her?
stabbed her. And you can't use the word bitch.
I would not use the word bitch.
You would use the word bitch.
Radiant would never engage in gender
I would not.
swearing.
No, it wouldn't.
I'd be like, hey, it's me, Endelian. Idiot.
Roll a performance check with disadvantage.
With a +1.
Good luck. Oh! It works. It's a 19.
With disadvantage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You rolled. What did you roll?
A 19. Well, on the die, I rolled a 19 and an 18.
Wow. Wow. She looks to Radiant, looks to Endelian. She's spooked and baffled. I mean, she's
think we all
technically
are.
she's technically not frightened, but
It's impressive.
that was big stuff.
Can I just say,
these were big moments.
She's
for
gone
her.
from me using a cantrip behind her going, oh, I don't like tricks, to Raiden just going, hey, it's me. and fully buying it.
She is going to use her final legendary action
I thought she might.
of this round, and she is going to slip away from all of you without provoking opportunity attacks.
Can she not?
And she is going to go here, all the way to the other end of the table, all the other way,
Oh no.
all the way to the other end of the
Something's
space,
coming.
to the table. That is Dolly's turn.
First of all, I'm gonna look at be like, hang in there, buddy, and cast Healing Word, because I know you're not looking good.
Drink it in, little lizard. Drink it in.
Yum, yum,
That's
yum.
6 healing. I know it's not much, but
But
You
it's
can
good
get.
to know.
Yeah.
yeah.
and then I'm gonna, because I can only do a cantrip now, so I'm just gonna go kind of like backhand the air, and the sound's gonna travel through the air, and I'm casting Thunderclap at
Okay.
her. It's a con save.
She rolls a 19 on the die, becomes a 21.
So it
Okay,
passes.
so it's. Does she still take damage?
Probably not
No, she
on a
doesn't.
cantrip. Okay. She just she claps back at you. That is her turn.
Why is she that?
She is going to.
Why is she
okay.
that far away?
Okay. So she is going to. She's going to kind of technically hold her action and wait for the layer action, and the layer action comes first.
Oh no.
She scrambles in her robes trying to find potions, and she pulls one out. She throws it at the feet of Raiden. Raiden, please,
Yes.
can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Uh, 16.
Just passes. It's the same potion that you saw thrown at Dolly. These shifting, these faces sort of almost emerge from the smoke, so emerge from the vial, and you hear these whispers, and for a second it sounds like those whispers that you hear in the deck of cards, and you can hear her voice whispering in your ear saying, "Kill them, kill them." But you're able to barely force it from your mind. You've heard whispers before, babe. You know whispers. And seeing that hasn't worked, what she's actually going to do is she's going to run towards Dolly.
Okay.
And she's going to take 2 attacks on you, which were a 21 and a 23. The first one hits, she stabs into you with her poison blade. The first one hits you for 7 piercing and 3 poison. The next one hits you for 8 piercing and 4 poison.
No,
So that is
no.
7 and 3, and 8 and 4 is 22.
Oh my god.
My glass cannon.
She's done.
Dolly drops. And you see as she drops, Medea kind of almost cradles her head, and you can see her draw her dagger and she puts it to one of the horns. That is Ai's turn.
She's within, obviously, let me move. Can we move? I know you don't want to do this.
Absolutely, I'll do it. I'll move everybody.
I'll do it.
Listen, next
Fuck her if she touches one.
Okay, you're within 5 feet of my friend.
She's incapacitated.
So
no sneak
I can't do
attack
anything,
because
yeah.
she is incapacitated.
in that case, then I will just attempt to immediately hide behind this bookshelf so I can go.
It's absolutely the right thing to do,
Yeah.
but I love that she's down. Right, let me guess.
exactly.
I don't want it to be me.
Pure mechanics over.
This is awful.
I'm basically just going to go back into this
shadows.
Here, I can do it, Harry.
this hiding space that worked so
you go
poorly
back
for me
there.
last time.
Yep.
I'm just going to sit back and go.
Roll,
I tries again.
roll stealth.
Boom.
With disadvantage, you are poisoned.
That is a 16. Fails.
Just pass it.
Just passes. And then I want to go. Okay. Slips into the shadow and goes. No! And comes and shoots from the shadows. I'm fully just gone. I'm going to hide and then eventually just reveal myself
Right,
immediately.
yep. So you have advantage because you're hidden.
Yep.
You have disadvantage because you're poisoned. So you can roll flat.
Okay. That's 14.
Misses. The as you move into that that little nook and hide yourself away, her head kind of moves towards where you are, and then just like she loses sight of you. And as you reach your hand up and you aim this crossbow at her, you feel this like with each heartbeat, it's like this pulsing poison is moving further through you, and it just throws your aim off. And the crossbow bolt flies across the space and embeds itself into the wall next to her head. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
17.
You are no longer poisoned. That is Radian's turn.
He sees all this unfold and the fact that Medea has the knife to Dolly's horn, and kind of without thinking, a reflex that he doesn't really understand, he runs and tries to tackle Medea. So just beelines,
Yeah.
and so I mean that's what I want my move to be.
You're going to make an athletics, a contested athletics check against her.
I got a 10.
She got an 8. You tackle her to the floor.
Yeah.
She is now considered grappled. Her speed becomes 0. She can't benefit to any bonus from her speed. The condition ends if you are incapacitated. And the condition also ends if an effect removes her from the reach of you.
Yeah.
So, that is your action and your movement.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could technically move backwards, but it would be an insane thing to do as she'd no longer be grappled.
Don't give him an option.
Good. I mean, there's kind of nothing really else I can do.
No.
It's like he's got her pinned to the floor.
Yeah.
And that's it.
She is going to use a legendary action. She escapes the grappled condition and moves up to her speed without provoking opportunity attacks at the end of your turn. But what she is going to do is she is going to move away from both you and Dolly. So you are here, and she is going to move. She's going to move her speed. She's going to move up to I.
Can I add a bit of flavour to that?
Tell me about it.
So as that happens, he kind of collapses to the floor and basically sees, obviously, Dolly lying there, kind of semi-lifeless almost. Would it be lifeless?
Yes, she is essentially she's unconscious and mechanically somewhere between life and death.
And the whispers are even louder than before. So, and it's starting to be quite painful for him.
Kelnis, that's your turn.
I want to cast Healing Word on Dolly.
You've got a lot of spells.
I had a full deck of spells.
Yeah, man.
They're almost gone now, but I had everything.
You cast Healing Word on Dolly.
Good.
1d4 plus 5. Ooh, 9.
9.
Thank you.
Oh, what a time.
Where are we?
What a time. You are over at the fireplace at the moment with Indelian. Dolly now, as these whispers are in your head, Radiant, you hear Kelnis, who, however you cast Healing Word. I'm not sure if it's a wave of the hand or...
Be well.
You hear Callum say, be well.
Please.
And Dolly's eyes open and she takes a deep breath. Anything else you want to do, Calnus?
Would this count as a bonus action if I try to look at the journal again?
Yeah, I'll say you can look at the journal.
Have a look at the
again,
journey.
Roll me a roll me a d6.
It's just
I have
just over by the fireside. Be well.
I put on my spectacles. I sit in my smoking jacket by the fire. 1d6?
1d6, and if you roll a 3, then you can just roll again.
6.
6. Okay. You read... This, the ink is wet on this. This looks to have been freshly written. It's towards the end of the book. It's the last page. They left me. They left me when I needed them most. Traitors. Cowards. They made their choice. And then it says, I never trusted Casper. He was all talk. He just said he was sorry. He kept saying it, but it didn't matter. Juno didn't see it coming. She just sort of gasped like she'd read the end of a surprising book. Goff said more than I'd ever heard before about a cleric in Ponvin and how much he regretted what he did. It was all flowing out of him. Blood and words. I think he smiled at the end. And then it says, the others. That is, she's going to use a legendary action at the end of your turn, Kelnis. She rolls a 16 to hit I.
16.
Silvery barbs.
Oh, wait, I have an armor plus 16.
Oh,
That hits.
Yes.
Oh, his because it meant, yeah.
Matches.
Yeah.
Silvery barbs.
Yeah.
Tell me about silvery barbs.
so it means I can use a momentary distraction to force her to reroll.
Okay.
So I'm just going to be like, hey, over here.
She goes to stab into you, I, and you're kind of pinned between these bookshelves. And as you do, she turns around, she hears your voice. And she looks and she says, you're supposed to be dead. And she's going to turn back to I and roll again, and she rolls a 12.
Not dead yet.
So that is Endelian's turn.
I got you, babe.
I guess I'm gonna stay in for some close combat. So I'm gonna move up to where she is.
That's me.
I'm so sorry.
We look so similar though.
No, you know what it is?
It's the hair.
Close and something
Yeah.
long coming out the back of her head.
So I'm gonna try and attack with my short sword.
Make an attack.
So that would only be a 13, so I know
Misses.
that doesn't hit. And then I'll go with my dagger as well.
Yeah. Again, she just slides away, like turns as you
little ones I don't like.
as you come over.
No.
She slides away,
And again.
locking eyes with you, and it's like she's one step ahead of you each time you try and stab towards it. It's like she's now found the flow of the way you like to fight, and she's just ducking away from everything, grinning at you. That is Dolly's turn.
Okay. I've only got one spell slot left, which I think I'm going to hang on to.
I rolled the first one was an 8, wasn't it? Yeah. And that
I'm
was
just
an
gonna,
8 plus 7,
I'm
so
just
it didn't
gonna
hit.
try and grab her attention again and be like, "Hey, Medea, not dead yet." Just gonna, cast
Turns to you and
vicious-
goes, I know.
Because I said that.
I know, you're already had this conversation.
Cast vicious mockery,
Okay.
which is wisdom save for her.
2 on the die.
Okay, so take 1d4. It's not a lot, but it means she has disadvantage on her next attack roll as well.
Okay.
That's a 1 damage,
Okay.
so
So she takes 1 damage.
yeah, that's kind of. Oh, I'm also gonna. Radiant's on the floor right now.
Only because he was grappling.
Okay.
Not because he's hurt.
I'm gonna reach my hand out, pull you up, and say, "It's not looking good." I'm gonna cast Bardic Inspiration. It's not looking good for us right now. Might want to do something.
Do something about it.
Do something. Do something cool. Come on.
That is Medea's turn. She has turned and seen you, Endelian, and she keeps dipping,
Like a fly that you just can't swat.
moving her head away, and she's sort of like taking steps. I don't know if you've ever seen like Drunken Master style boxing. She's kind of like moving away and dipping low, and she's going to roll her 2 attacks at you. The first one of which was with disadvantage because of vicious mockery. Yeah?
Yes, that's right.
So she rolled a nat 1 on her first attack, so she stabs up towards you and almost like embeds her, like gets it completely wrong. Like the knife is like briefly stuck in the bookcase and she's like trying to wrench it back. The next one is a 3. So you seem to be at like an impasse. Just as you were frustrated trying to stab into her, she's turned to you ready to like relish this fight. And you are like bringing your own blade up, knocking hers aside. And she gives you like a little smile. That is the lair action. That is, she reaches into her robes,
Stupid potions.
knocks a potion and says, I know it's sort of cheating, and downs this potion and breathes fire at you. That's a dexterity saving throw, please.
Endelian's eyebrows.
Yeah.
The eyebrows!
Okay, it's a 15.
A 15 passes, so you will take half of this damage. It is 15 damage halved to 7.
Okay.
Could be worse.
That is Eye's turn.
So I'm going to cunning action disengage.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my movement to head back up by the table, please. And as
Behind or in front of the table?
let's say next to
Next to the table, so almost at the foot of the stairs.
Yeah. And as Medea is within 5 feet of
Endelian, who's not incapacitated.
Not incapacitated, I'm going to have a shot with my crossbow.
Yep.
Which is a 17.
Hits.
Okay, and
you get sneak attack.
yep. Okay, so
For the first time this fight, right?
yeah.
Killing him.
So I now get a 1d8 plus 5, and then I get to roll again.
Yep. So 1d8.
So that first one is 2, so 7.
7 damage. And then roll your sneak attack.
Oh, I have to roll for the sneak attack to... No.
So you do.
Yeah.
So the way it works is you do your damage from your one shot,
Yeah.
and then you add your sneak attack damage after.
So that was 7 on the first one. So it was 1d8 plus 5.
Yes, from the crossbow bolt.
Yeah.
And now you roll your sneak attack damage. You don't shoot two arrows.
But it's been so long since I've done this now.
It's totally fine.
What is the sneak attack dice?
I think it's two. I think it's probably 2d6, but I'm not
2d6.
sure at this level.
I think it's 2d6. I'm so sorry. Literally in that moment, it's been so
fine.
long since I did a sneak attack.
It's been a little while. Let me see if it has.
Sneak attack is 2d6.
Yeah.
It's 2d6. That's a 3 and a 5.
A 3 and a 5. And what was the first amount of damage you did to her?
7.
7.
15.
Yeah.
Okay. She is going to use her reaction to take half of that damage, so she totally is going to take 7 damage rather than the full 15. This bolt thuds into her, goes over Radiant's shoulder, thuds into Medea, and you see her like knock back. She's actually she stumbles back briefly, hits the shelf of potions. And this bolt has gone sort of much more central than the arrow did. And she pulls it out, and as she pulls it out, and you can see this is, the breathing is really ragged. That is Radiant's turn. Oh, in fact, I'll tell you what she's going to do.
No.
Smoke.
She's bamfing.
She's bamfing. Andelian, you take 5 psychic damage and she disappears.
Again? What's that mean for me?
Sorry, love.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
She's yeah.
I just had, in this period, Raiden has been concocting this sensationally interesting plan. And honestly, guys, it's a shame that happened. So he's on the floor. The smoke. Where did the smoke go to? Where was she at that point?
She was in between the bookshelves, essentially, where I had been hiding.
Okay. I'm going to. I don't think there's really much I can do. Yeah, I'm gonna go. He's just gonna fire. He's gonna fire off Toll the Dead towards where she was.
Okay. So how does that work?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
So there's no disadvantage.
No, it was succeeding a wisdom saving throw, and if she's missing any of her health, then she takes one.
It doesn't say anything about a target you can see within range, does it?
Yeah, see within range.
Sorry.
Absolutely fine. I saw where she was.
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'll tell you what. You can roll
with disadvantage.
You can roll a luck check and see if she has just happened to stay within that vicinity. You're gonna need to roll high.
Yeah, I rolled a 17.
Okay. I'll say she'll take half damage of this.
Great.
What's the if she fails the save? What's the save?
It'll be a wisdom saving throw.
She fails, so she'll take half this damage. I'll say she'll take half this damage.
I'm rolling a d12. Wherever that may be.
Not how the spell works, but more fun.
An 11.
Okay, so she takes 5 damage.
Yeah.
Okay, and because she has just taken some damage, she comes back into vision.
Nice.
Just behind Indelian. Oh, excuse me. So she was trying to get behind you.
And Raiden would like to quit. I didn't think that would work.
Kelnis, that's your turn.
Okay.
We haven't turned Kelnis around, so he's just been facing the fire.
I'm reading.
Just Chucky spells over his shoulder.
Get on with it, kid. This is a good book.
Right. I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Shillelagh on my staff. And I'm going to twat her with it.
I'll get it. All right. I feel really bad. You keep getting nothing.
Kelnis make an attack.
25.
Hits.
And it's 1d8 plus 5.
Go on, Doug.
Come on.
Go on, Cal.
8.
8. Tell me about it.
Oh!
Yes, Cal.
Okay, so I cast Shillelagh, I touch my staff.
And I think you'll tell you were doing so well.
We had children around this table today.
This could have been so cool.
I touch my staff, and it glows, and I run at her, and I say, "Take this, you bastard!" Bam! And I just smack it straight into the back of her head.
And she drops to her knees and then just slumps forward, head smashing into the stone.
Can I run forward? Is there any life left in her at all?
Roll me a luck check. Roll me a luck check.
9.
She's gone.
Okay.
She doesn't have any horns you can cut off anyway.
Fucker.
So cut off anything, quite frankly.
I'll find something.
So there's quiet.
Even for me, that was pretty close. No, because she's fallen so close to me. Can I turn around and sort of examine the body?
Absolutely.
See where she's
Roll me an
gone?
investigation check.
It's not great. It's a 4. It's a 3, actually.
With a 3, you don't find anything. 3.
I was looking for a scimitar.
Oh.
I'd like to go over to Casper and just check how they died. If it was
Apart from the crushed skull that Raiden inflicted.
You want to roll me an investigation check on Casper.
that is, I think that's a 15. Yeah.
Okay.
No, 14. Sorry.
So his throat was cut. But in examining the body, you find something. You find a little vial of perfume. And this, I will write it down for you. This is a perfume of bewitching. And you can use an action to apply it to yourself, and it lasts for an hour. And for the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at humanoids of challenge rating 1 or lower.
Okay, I'll take that. Just gonna put it in my jacket pocket. Be like, sorry, Casper, you're one of the good ones.
What do the rest of you want to do?
I, having felt some connection to
You hypocrite. I meant, I think I, in his journey through Reliquia, has found few people he's connected with more than someone remind me of his name.
I would like to say that Radiant does not wish to grave Robert.
You mean Goff?
Goff, in that moment.
He knows. He knows. He was trying to remember the little name they used to call each other when no one else was listening. Yeah.
I more meant less connection, directly, more in the emotional state of sitting by the fire.
Absolutely.
And goes over to Goff to kind of,
Roll me investigation.
18.
18. You find among his things these strange set of goggles. And these are goggles of the night. And you have dark vision. If you... Don't be annoyed, I'm giving you stuff.
This is stuff. It can see in the dark.
It's okay, you can pass things between you.
Yeah, you have
Keep going. Because I was about to. Keep going.
Yeah. These sort of goggles that strap around the head with a leather band.
I
Keep them for myself.
I
take them off.
Yeah, these are useless. I can't read these.
And I says,
I is sorry.
to Goff, says,
I is sorry. But you does not need these. The tribe needs these.
and says,
You.
and throws them over his shoulder to Endelian.
Add them to your inventory.
I will. I'll say, my eyebrows thank you for this.
And then turns to Cal and says,
What does it say?
So at this point, you can essentially read everything else that's in the journal. And you go back to the beginning of the journal, and it says, the first entry, it says, I poured poison in the well. Bottles and bottles of it. Think they use it to kill rats, mostly. Burned my eyes. I had to sit down for a while afterwards to catch my breath, and also because my head was spinning, also that. I sat in the undergrowth and watched them draw from it all day. That night they fell sick. Some of them lived, treated by Crest, and the others. 16 died, though, which was more than I'd hoped for. I felt like a god. And then, as you start turning the pages, you realize this is just a journal of people she's killed. One of them says, she was much older than me, more muscly than she looked. At first it was like stabbing into stone, then it softened. You turn a page. He called that in Draconic. At least I think it was Draconic. I wish I understood. It seems a shame to have missed out. He smelled of lavender. And then there are pages.
Is Kel reading this out?
Yeah. And then there's just a whole page where she's just written, no one is stopping me, no one is stopping me, no one is stopping me, no one is stopping me. And then you find a page, again with wet ink, the first page, which has wet ink on it. It says, I'd never felt magic like that. As the life went out of him, it was like music or color. It was like opening your eyes after a lifetime in the dark. I forced the knife in again and tried to meet his gaze, but he was already somewhere else. It was as if it didn't hurt at all. In the moment before I did it, he looked like Rashid. It felt wrong. I had to go back to the apothecary and check that he was still there, that there hadn't been some terrible mistake and that I'd killed him instead. He was asleep. He's safe. He's safe, but I can't make myself feel still. I want to be still. I don't feel still.
You're reading this out loud. Kel, what was that about Rashid? Here in the... I'm going to get up and start looking.
Wasn't Rashid the guy that she blinded and killed?
No, it wasn't. He's gone missing.
You've heard Rashid as a member of the Council of Equals who's gone missing. The person who you blinded, you don't know the name of. Who she blinded, you don't know the name of.
He's still here.
So there's possibly a Rashid still here in the place.
We looks.
You turn another page, back to the place where it says about the very first thing that you read here said, I should have killed him, but he fascinates me, so strong of mind. And then you see on another page it says, he speaks really good halfling. We play dragon chess sometimes.
This is what the web unleashed on people. It's what we unleashed back on the city. Glad we had a chance to correct that mistake.
This doesn't make us good people.
Oh, I know. But might mean I sleep better tonight.
What are you looking for? What are you trying to do?
I'm looking for my scimitar.
Roll me an investigation check on her.
Oh, darling, it's not meant to be.
4. You search her stuff, you don't find anything. Like her robes, she's got these empty, she's out of potions, she's out of stuff.
But can I search the room as well? I mean, I'd quite like to search the room to see if I can find not only my scimitar, but like any trap doors or...
Roll me an investigation check.
Can I, if I'm helping?
Yeah,
I'm
so
sort
you
of
can roll with
pacing as well.
advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, 21.
And see if you roll in that 20, because you've got advantage now, because Dolly's helping. She's taking the help action.
That one.
So 21. So you don't find trapdoors in here, but you do remember that this is the basement of an existing building.
Yeah.
And you find these potions that you've been pulling from the walls. You find that they tend to be in sort of one of various groups. You can start to kind of pull those potions down.
I see behind like this biggest shelf. I was wanting to see if I could pull bottles off to see if one of them might.
There's nothing that with the 21. There's nothing that triggers like a secret door. Nothing rotates. It seems that this is a space that already is protected by magic, has a concealed entrance that no one else knows about, and has been used for storage.
Well, what are the potions that we're finding?
Okay, so you find someone roll me an Arcana check. I don't mind who it
Absolutely
is.
not me.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you helping?
Yeah.
So you
I'll
can
help.
roll twice, take the highest.
17 plus 6.
Okay, 23. Okay, so you find a lot of different potions. You find potions of healing and greater healing. You find a potion of hill giant strength. You find a potion of gaseous form. And then comprehend languages and fire resistance. But with a 23, you also recognize these potions are old, really old. And their efficacy couldn't necessarily be trusted.
Nevertheless, it's the best we've got.
Okay.
So Raiden just starts handing out all of
I'm going to say you can take one of each rather
Right.
than just like fill your boots with expired potions. But so yeah, so you take one of comprehend languages, which you already have.
I already have.
So I'll say roll me a d6, just for the fun of it.
5.
Okay.
That's
You get you roll me again.
Yeah. 2.
Okay, you get an extra greater healing potion. So you have one of healing, 2 of greater healing, 1 of hill giant strength, 1 of gaseous form, 1 of comprehend languages. Which I already has, and 1 of fire resistance.
Can I take a potion of greater healing?
Of course.
Oh, sorry, were you asking someone else something?
No.
Or is that a general question for the group?
No, I'm telling you that's what you now have between you. You can divide
Oh,
them
I
however
see.
you
Okay,
like.
okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's what the group finds down
Yeah.
here.
I think for now we can just take one of each and then just kind of. Do we need to decide now, or just let's just move on? I would. Radiant grabs the book off Kelnis and goes, "What are we going to do with this?"
Burn it. What else are we
Burn
going to
it,
do?
Wait.
yeah.
Is proof of Rashid.
Yeah,
That is true.
that's a good point.
Who do we tell?
Can I suggest we don't tell anyone yet? We're all exhausted. We know we're safe here because no one else can get in. I don't like the idea of sleeping next to dead bodies, but I feel
We
like
could do with a little break.
Grenweir is here because Rashid is missing, correct?
Grenweird is here because Rashid is missing.
Okay.
Would it be? I suggest we rest here tonight.
I think that's probably wise. We don't know what has happened in the city since we've been down here. We caused a huge commotion.
We need to lay low.
Yeah.
Raiden runs into one of the bedrooms, and
There's just that space.
sorry, that space. Is there any?
There are bed rolls.
Bed rolls, and just starts wrapping up one of the bodies in one of the bed rolls, and then just starts moving them into the corner of the room,
Right.
just to get rid of the bodies on the floor.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys can help if you want, but he just starts doing it, moving and making space. We need to sleep.
I goes up to Meda's body and gets right close and says, "You tries taking answers from me. I takes eyes from you." And
Oh my god.
into each of her eyes and removes, using his dagger, just removes each of Meda's eyes and goes, "It's not nice feeling." And wipes his dagger off.
Hey, you gonna help with this?
And highlights him and goes, "Yes!"
So you want to
I think we're clearing a space. Is fire still going?
fire's still going.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
Yeah.
take a seat. Yeah, just chill for a bit.
So you sit down, lie down among the bodies, far below where a fire is presumably still smouldering, still raging. A smaller one burns in the hearth. And that's where we'll end our session. So, who doesn't want to end with eyes being removed? Thank you very much for listening, for watching, for being part of this story so far, everybody. That is episode 8. If you would like to, you can see our and listen to our post-show, Action Surge, which we will put out next week. But if that is just too damn long for you to wait, if you're hankering for yet more D&D and yet more Natural Six, more Reliquiae in your damn life and in your damn feeds, well, we have a solution. You can head over to our Patreon page and you can sign up and you can get the Action Surge right now, all in your ears, all in your eyes if you want to watch.
Unless it's Medea.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Do check us out wherever you get your socials and you get all your info. It's all a bit overwhelming, this, isn't it? We will see you very soon for more adventures in the world of Reliquiae. Bye! D&D, baby!